Pairing.
A very good morning, one and all. All the dignitaries on the dais, rather I would say, galaxy of stalwarts on the dais. HODs, authors, delegates, faculty members, and students. On behalf of Kasegav Education Societies, Srimati Kusumtai Rajaram Bapu Patil Kanya Mahavidyalaya, I heartily welcome you all for this inaugural ceremony of 2 days international conference on recent trends in pure and applied sciences sponsored by Shivaji University Kolhapur. So function is already inaugurated. I request our college students to create the blissful environment and welcome you all by singing the welcome song. Please. Thank you all students and musicians for this heavenly song. We never imagined like without any special effects and such mics, a song can be so much melodious. To marching forward, I request Professor Dr. S.R. Mane, convener of this international conference, to give his welcome speech and talk about theme of this conference. Please, sir.
Good morning to one and all. I am here for giving the welcome speech and theme of this conference. Thank you all dignitaries on dais and all participants for joining this 2 days international conference. It's my great pleasure to welcome today's chief guest and keynote speaker, the great and eminent scientist Honorable G.D. Yadav and Honorable Vasanti Yadav Madam. During our frequent meets, Honorable Professor Dr. P.S. Patil, Pro Vice Chancellor of Shivaji University, Kolhapur, always gave us valuable guidance, suggestions for organization of this international conference. On behalf of organizing committee and our institute, I welcome you, sir. I also welcome Honorable Kamath Sir, Vice Chancellor of Dr. Homi Bhabha State University, Mumbai, Principal R.D. Sawant, Secretary of our Kasegaon Education Society, who is our guide and best administrator, Dr. Sushma Kulkarni, Director of Rajarambapu Institute of Technology, reporters of different newspapers. It's my pleasure to welcome all the speakers, chairpersons, co-chairpersons, examiners, and all participants to share their knowledge and vast experience with the research scholars who are invited for this 2 days international conference on recent trends in pure and applied sciences. Theme of the conference is our country has suffered a lot over last few years from unexpected COVID-19 pandemic, extreme weather conditions, which is mainly because of the climate crisis. The impact of these unusual weather conditions is due to greenhouse effect, and it becomes even more serious in the coming future. Therefore, we need to fight against this climate crisis by achieving carbon neutrality. In fact, our country has promised to cut its emissions to net zero by 2070. Missing a key goal of the climate change conference for countries to commit to reach that target by 2050, however, strongly commits a feasible target of reaching 500 gigawatt of solar generation to meet 50% of its energy requirements from renewable energy by 2030. The core idea of this crisis is to focus on renewable energy sources and achieving global net zero emissions. Therefore, photovoltaic, green hydrogen, green ammonia are the leading renewable technologies which has reached an annual global installation of more than 150 gigawatt and is in the spotlight as a new engine for the energy sector. Also, we are expecting more effective progress in this photovoltaic research and tackle with our daily energy needs. Our Indian government already launched National Solar Mission Program on 11 January 2010. NMS is a major initiative of the Government of India with active participation from states to promote ecological sustainable growth while addressing India's energy security challenges. Islampur is an advanced industrial and educational hub for Western Maharashtra and is the best city where you can encounter a variety of culture and tradition. This international conference will be an opportunity for all students, academicians, and scientists to have a wonderful time to enjoy various scientific discussions and experiences. The beauty of Islampur, along with invited talks, oral presentations, and poster presentations on recent trends in pure and applied sciences. I would like to conclude my welcome speech by encouraging the delegates to participate with an increasing number in all the activities and discussions for these 2 days program. I wish everyone a successful, safe and fruitful conference. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your preamble and setting the tone of this international conference. Now it's time to felicitate chief guest of this function and keynote speaker, Padma Shri Honorable Dr. G.D. Yadav, former Vice Chancellor, Institute of Chemical Technology, Mumbai. I request Honorable Principal R.D. Sawant to do the honors, please. विद्वत्तं च नृपत्वं च न एव तुल्ये कदाचन स्वदेशे पूज्यते राजा विद्वान सर्वत्र पूज्यते. We are very fortunate to have Padma Shri Honorable Dr. G.D. Yadav sir over here. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. We have guest of honor, Honorable Dr. R.K. Kamath, Vice Chancellor, Dr. Homi Bhabha State University, Mumbai. I request Honorable Director, Dr. Sushma Kulkarni to do the honors, please. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. President of this function, Honorable Dr. P.S. Patil, Pro Vice Chancellor, Shivaji University, Kolhapur. I request Principal Dr. Vilas Kale to do the honors, please. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So we have a special felicitation of Mrs. Vasanti Yadav, who is better off of Honorable Shri G.D. Yadav, sir. I request Honorable Sushma Kulkarni, ma'am, to do the honors, please. Thank you, ma'am. Now I would like to request Principal Dr. Vilas Kale, sir, to felicitate Honorable R.D. Sawant, sir, Secretary of Kasegaon Education Society. Thank you, sir. Now I request Dr. S.R. Mane to felicitate Honorable Director Dr. Sushma Kulkarni, Director of Rajaram Bapu Institute of Technology. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. I request all of you to please. I request Dr. Vilas Kale, sir, Principal of KRP Kanya Mahavidyalaya, to address the gathering. Please, sir.
Good morning to all. I heartily welcome our chief guest, Honorable Padma Shri Professor Dr. G.D. Yadav, former Director ICT Mumbai, Honorable Professor Dr. R.K. Kamath, Vice Chancellor Dr. Homi Bhabha State University, Mumbai, Honorable Professor Dr. P.S. Patil, Pro Vice Chancellor Shivaji University, Kolhapur, Honorable Srimati Vasanti Tai Yadav, Honorable Principal R.D. Sawant, Secretary Kasegao Education Society, Honorable Dr. Sushma Kulkarni, Director RIT Rajaram Nagar, and Convener of this conference, Professor Dr. S.R. Mani. Today we have gathered here for the international conference. I feel proud to organize first international conference by our college. On this occasion, I appreciate each and everyone who put their great efforts behind the organization of an international conference. Kasegao Education Society is established by the great visionary Padayatri late Rajaram Bapu Patil in 1945 for upliftment of rural community through education, cooperative sectors, and through socio-economic and cultural activities. In 1989, the Kasegao Education Society established Srimati Kusumtai Rajaram Bapu Patil Kanya Mahavidyalaya, Islampur, under motivating dynamic leadership of Honorable Jayant Patil Saheb, State President, Nationalist Congress Party, and former Minister of Home, Finance, Rural Development and Water Resources, Government of Maharashtra. The precious guidance and inspiration of Honorable Principal R.D. Sawant sir, Secretary Kasegao Education Society, is always with us for development of our academic excellence. Due to appropriate guidance of Honorable Sawant sir, we are able to achieve better success in various educational fields. I feel proud about my students and my faculty members. Our college achieved a remarkable success in academic as well as in sports and in cultural activities. In each academic year, near about 10 to 12 students of our college are achieving first few ranks in Shivaji University merit list. Along with this, our students are acquiring great success in sports at state and national level. Also, we are achieved success in cultural activities. Each year, we are participated in various cultural activities like youth festival, and our students are acquiring great success in such activities. Our faculty members are having good potential and merit. We have 16 PhD guides, 24 PhD holders. Also, we have 8 BOS members in Shivaji University, and more than this, we have 9 professors. Thus, I feel proud of my faculty members. This is possible due to able guidance and inspiration of Honorable Secretary Principal R.D. Sawant sir. Our college offers wide range of education facilities like BA, MA, BCom, MCom, BSc, BSc in Computer Science, BCA, BBA, MSc in Chemistry, MSc in Physics, MS in Computer Science, MPhil, and PhD. The main theme of the conference is recent trends in pure and applied sciences with special reference to environmental consciousness. This conference is sponsored by Shivaji University, Kolhapur, and I am thankful to Shivaji University for giving us sponsorship to organize this conference. The activities run by this 2 days conference will be meaningful and eventually percolates down to students for development of their academic excellence. The session carried out by conference will be helpful for the students, teachers, and researchers. The theme is very significant and is related to recent trends in chemical, physical, computer, mathematical, and biological sciences. All topics covered in this conference are exactly related to emerging branches of pure and applied sciences. Finally, I wish my best compliments to invited speakers, delegates, participants, and those who are participated for oral and poster presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for introduction of our education society and the institute, and sharing with us just the glimpses of success of Kanya Mahavidyalaya. Now I would like to request Honorable Principal R.D. Sawant sir, our mentor and Secretary of Kasegaon Education Society, to guide us on this occasion. Please, sir.
Good morning, everyone. I am really very much delighted to be amongst the distinguished guests, Honorable J.D. Yadav sir and his wife Vasanthi Yadav, Honorable Kamath sir, Vice Chancellor of Homi Bhabha State University, Honorable Dr. P.S. Patil sir, Pro-Vice Chancellor of our Vishwaraj University, Dr. Sushma Kulkarni, Director of our RIT, and going to be the first Vice Chancellor of our Kasegaon Education Society. She has been, let me declare, ma'am, she has been selected as Vice Chancellor of NICMAR, Pune. So it is a matter of great pride and privilege for us that we are giving, Kasegaon Education Society is giving one Vice Chancellor to the capital of, cultural capital of Maharashtra, Pune. Indeed, today Rajaram Bapu Patil might be feeling very happy to listen to this declaration, because in long back in 1945 he had established this Kasegaon Education Society with a sole intention of spreading the education among the rural people. But initially the focus was, I would like to tell Dr. J.D. Yadav sir, initially the focus of our education society was only on spread of education among the illiterate people of this area. But as the time went away, as the time passed, Rajaram Bapu felt the need of higher education as well, and he started Asta College, Arts and Commerce College Asta in 1964. And then in 1983, as we all remember, the government of Maharashtra had taken the historical decision to allow the institutions, allow the educational societies to start engineering colleges on non-grant basis. Rajaram Bapu Patil then decided to have the benefit of this opportunity, and he established this institute here at Islampur. Let me tell you at this juncture that it was quite possible for him to start the college at Pune or Mumbai in those days. But he felt that the technical education facility should be provided to the rural area, which is the need of the hour. And long back in 1983, he took the decision, and with the help of our sugar factory, he established his college at this place. And today we see that how great visionary he was, that we are having this institute, RIT, as an autonomous institute funded by World Bank under TechWave, and Vishwaraj University has given us autonomy. And I think technically we were the first autonomous college in the Vishwaraj University area. We were also first, sir, to go for accreditation in this area. In those days, there were so many others who were asking us, why are you going for accreditation? You need not go for accreditation. But at that time, we took the decisions, and we, for the first time, she submitted our application, submitted our proposal, and we got accredited. Since then Dr. Sushma Kulkarni took over the charge of this institute, and today you see, we are, if I do not mistake, not only recognized in Maharashtra, not only recognized in India, we are, to some extent, we are recognized in the other world also. So, and this is only because of the efforts that Sushma Kulkarni ma'am has taken for this institute, and as a result of this, she has been awarded or she has been invited to work as Vice Chancellor of NICMAR at Pune. So, today again, let me talk about this international conference organized by Kanya Mahavidyalaya. I should talk about something about my college also, because I was the founder principal there and I had worked there for 19 years. And in those days, sir, I was constantly behind these staff members to go for, to undertake major research projects, minor research projects, try to acquire funding from so many other funding agencies and do something other than teaching. Do something in research other than teaching. I always insisted that your research should be applied. Though I do not belong to science, though I do not belong to technological institutes, even then I felt the need that whatever research that we are going to do should be applied. Whatever innovation that we are going to do should help to make the human life more easier and more happier. In the same manner, because just now Professor Kade has told us that there are 9 professors in our college, and the number of PhD faculty is also ever growing. It is because of the continuous efforts taken by the management, taken by the society for the encouragement of these people. And today I am really very happy, because I am the former principal of this college, that this college is organizing this international conference on recent trends in pure and applied sciences, and therefore I welcome you all for this historical occasion of our institute. I welcome all the dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. I welcome the participants, I welcome the delegates. I welcome also the persons who are taking who are meeting this, taking this institute and meeting poster presentations, and there are some other persons who are joining this conference online as well. So I welcome all of you, and I hope that we have tried our best to make your stay here quite comfortable. But even if there are some requirements, you can freely talk to us. We will try to help you. We will try to make your stay here quite happier. I wish this institute, I wish this Kanya Mahavidyalaya to have a great success because of this conference and take a further step in the research area. Once again, I welcome you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing the success story of Kasegav Education Society and the institutes. Now here we are publishing the souvenir of this conference. I request Chief Guest, Guest of Honor, President of this function and all the dignitaries on the dais to publish the souvenir, please. This souvenir contains motivation and messages from patrons and speakers with abstracts of all the research papers going to be published in this conference. From life science, total 58 abstracts. From applied science, total 82 abstracts. So total 140 abstracts are included in this souvenir. Thank you. Thank you so much. Now it's time to know more about, rather I will say, recall about our chief guest, Padma Shri Honorable Dr. G.D. Yadav, requesting Dr. Deepak Patil for his introduction. Sir, please.
Good morning to all. dignitaries on the dais of the dais. It gives me immense pleasure to propose an introduction of our eminent chief guest, Padma Shri Professor G.D. Yadav. He is one of the most esteemed personalities in India. Professor Ganpati D. Yadav is one of the topmost high prolific and accomplished engineering scientist in India. He is the National Science Chair of Government of India, which is very prestigious national honor, and Emeritus Professor of Eminence, and is the former Vice Chancellor of the Institute of Chemical Technology, Mumbai. As the Vice Chancellor, he has created several records, brought ICT to an international ranking with establishment of 2 new campuses in Bhubaneswar as well as in Jalna. Creation of 23 new programs, several centers of excellence and 5 departments, and collection of huge funds. He has internationally recognized by over 125 prestigious and rare awards as an academician, researcher, as well as innovator. It includes his seminal contribution to education, research, and innovation in green chemistry and engineering, catalysis, chemical engineering, energy engineering, biotechnology, nanotechnology, and development of clean and green technologies. He has patented work on the net zero goal, green hydrogen production technology, carbon dioxide refineries, and valorization of waste biomass and waste plastics is internationally acclaimed. He has served as the adjunct professor at University of Saskatchewan, Canada, co-joint professor, University of Newcastle, Australia, distinguished adjunct professor, IIT Guwahati, and SOA, University of Bhubaneswar. He was conferred Padma Shri Award by President of India in 2016. He has been recipient of 2 honorary doctorate and has addressed 6 convocations of renowned universities. He has elected to fellowship of all science and engineering academies in India, TWAS, RSE UK, IChemE UK, and among others. He was elected to prestigious US academies, the US National Academy of Engineering. Only 23 living Indians are actually elected to this academy. As well as he is a fellow of US National Academy of Inventors in 2022. He is the second Indian to be so honored with this prestigious Academy of Inventors. He has been involved with many prestigious policy making committees of the central government as well as the consultant to industry, the industry associations for around 40 years. His research productivity is a phenomenal with supervision of 107 doctoral and 140 master's theses, which is the first record of any engineering professor in India. Besides, he has supervised 48 postdoctoral fellows, several summer fellows, and research staff. His productivity is also phenomenal. 515 original research papers, 120 granted national PCT patents, 8 new patents applications he has done. He has wrote 3 books, H index of 67, I-10 index of 337, and 16,500 plus citations of their research work. He is on the board of 6 listed companies as an independent director, such as Godrej Industries, Aarti Industries, Clean Science and Technology, Megamani Organics, Bulgaria Industries and Survival Technology. He is on the editorial board of international journals of ACS, RSC, and elsewhere. He has been honored with many prestigious lifetime achievement awards by professional bodies, industries, associations, philanthropic organizations, and institutions of even higher learning. The most recent is by the Indian Drug Manufacturing Association in February 2023. Currently, he is the president of Indian Chemical Society and Maharashtra Academy of Sciences. Also, there is another work he has done for ICT, that he is a renowned poet also. He has wrote one university song for ICT, and he is very much love with the Vedas, Sanskrit, philosophy, and etymology. So, in the nutshell, I will say that he has achieved major awards, and the appreciation token of his field of research work. To talk about him, I would be probably consume a lot of time, because of achievements are actually endless. So your efforts in the field of chemical sciences not only benefited in the entire humankind, but also promulgate the upcoming generations to strive for a better future. Thank you very much.
I request you all to give a standing ovation.
A great researcher, academician, and administrator. Thank you all. Thank you so much. We have a hunger of the mind which asks for knowledge from experts, and the more we gain, the more we desire. So inviting our keynote speaker, our Honorable Padma Shri Dr. G.D. Yadav sir. Sir, please.
Good morning, everybody. Namaskar. On the dais, Dr. P.S. Patil, the Pro Vice Chancellor of Shivaji University, Dr. R.K. Kamath, the Vice Chancellor of Homi Bhabha National Institute, National Maharashtra State University, Dr. Principal R.D. Sawant, Dr. Sushma Kulkarni, the Director of RIT, Dr. Kale, Dr. Mane, Dr. Shinde, Dr. Patil, and many other distinguished professors here. And I can't forget my wife, otherwise I won't get food in the evening. She is also there. Dear faculty members, delegates, invited guests, members of media, ladies and gentlemen. How delighted I am to be here this morning. And I always seize an opportunity whenever I'm here to mingle with the local people. Because I was born and brought up in a very small village. It may not be more than 50 miles from here. So I have roots. So I enjoy that. Ladies and gentlemen, while I was listening to Professor Sawant about the achievements of this society, Kasegaon Education Society, due to the efforts of the great visionary Rajaram Bapu Patil, I was overwhelmed, because in 1945 we were not an independent nation. And starting an educational institute at that time and thinking of the rural people is something which is extraordinary, out of blue. So we must pay our tributes and homage to the late Sri Rajaram Bapu Patil, who was a very well-known leader of masses in this part of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, what is most gratifying that I have known about this institute, and I was here, and Madam Sushma Kulkarni had invited me as a chief guest for the degree granting ceremony as an autonomous institute. So I was here. I had been on this campus. But I think that was outside, right? That time when you had that program, it was not in this hall. I still remember that. And also there is another coincidence here. I must tell you what is the coincidence. The coincidence is that, I know Jayantrao Patil, and before that I have met Bhagat Singh Patil also because of this Tech Week program. But what you would not believe, that on 27th December 2013, Honorable President of India, the late Sri Pranab Mukherjee, was visiting us in Mumbai. And, Prithviraj Chauhan was the chief minister. He could not come for some reason, and his place was taken by Jayant Patil as the protocol minister of the state. So he was there along with the governor. And me and my wife were felicitated by the president that time, and the picture is there on internet. If you search it, you will find Jayant Patil standing next to me along with my wife and the president. So that is most coincident. And I have known him. I have known him personally. I hope he knows me. And yesterday, coincidentally, I met his son. We were traveling by the same aircraft. So that is another coincidence. Ladies and gentlemen, what I like most, that US is a Kanya Mahavidyalaya in honor of Madam Kusumtai Rajaram Bapu Patil. So this is also a first in this part of the world, because in our society, particularly in India, we don't value girls. In fact, we give them secondary treatment as if they are not citizens of this country. So ladies are discriminated. Parents are responsible for that. What they will say? Okay, this girl will get married, so why spend money on an education? Parka dhana hai the. That is what they used to say. Many of you would have faced this problem when we are getting educated. So having a special Kanya Mahavidyalaya, girls' college, is something out of blue. Not many would have thought of it. Maybe Maharishi Dhondakeshav Karve thought about it. Iravati Karve thought about it. But thinking of girls' college is very, very extraordinary. And SNDT...
It was a dream of late Rajaram Babu Patil. He could not fulfill in his lifetime. So
okay, Jayantrao Patil did it. Okay, so compliments to Jayantrao, what he has thought of. And I have something else to tell you. That is, in the rural area, there are no schools. In my village, we had only 4th standard up to, and we used to sit in the, the temples. Temples were our school building. So hardly anybody, my sisters were exceptionally brilliant, but they could not go beyond 4th because there was no school. Boys had the advantage. They could go out and learn and do whatever they want to. But the girls were discriminated. I have seen my sisters got married at the age of 13, 14. So that is the issue, real issue. So, a few years ago, one of the very famous politicians, I shall not name him for reasons of proprietary, I said, sir, my personal belief is that we should have girls' education free till PhD. Now he started looking at me. I said, I'm saying till PhD. It does not mean every girl will do PhD. It means there is an avenue available for the talented girl to go to high school, college, do graduation, post-graduation, and if they are qualified, they can do PhD. And it should be free. Though there is a reason for that, because you will see that educated mothers will have a controlled family. So population control is automatically achieved. Because they go to the college, the parents cannot stop them from going to college because their government is taking care of them. This is happening in countries like Finland, where I have visited. And thirdly, not only population control, within 2 generations, India will be a great country. And in India, we are always worried about reservation. Caste, creed, race, religion, and every politician wants to take advantage of that. When you have girls' reservation for higher education, 50% of population is already covered. Whether you are rich, poor, you belong to this caste, creed, or race, or religion, everybody is covered. That will change the face of India. That is my personal belief. And no educated woman, no educated mother will want her kids to be dacoits or gundas or whatever, right? They will always wish their kids to be highly educated and contribute to the growth of society. This is my personal belief. I must have said it in different, you might find some videos also. So I said it to at least 3-4 different central ministers, state ministers. I said, will be the great contribution to society, and there is enough money, believe me. There is enough money to educate girls. And that is what should be the priority. No matter what will be the fee, government should give that much to the colleges, wherever they are studying. So, in that regard, the contribution of this Kasega Education Society to girls' education is highly applauded and noteworthy, and this should be remembered forever. Because the girls in this area, I'm sure some of these girls must be working in farms and, coming to the college. So, I was a chairman of a committee of UGC which went to Chhattisgarh through Vilaspur. It's an all Naxalite area, and I still remember that. And I had my members were from IITs and other places, and I was the chairman. And I went there, and the girls had come. They were tribal girls. They had come after their morning work in the farms. They came, and I had an interaction with them. And they said, "Sir, because of this university, we are getting educated and we are enlightened now. So the crime rate is going down." Remember? And my committee members were dead against. They said, "What is this? This guy college and there is no standard." I said, "My dear sir, you are not seeing the real India. Don't you think that by establishing this university in a Naxalite affected area, they are doing a societal work, contributing to society?" And that is why these young kids, the tribal kids, who otherwise would have been Naxalites, are in the college. They are in the university. They are taking education, and they were technically qualified. That was an engineering institute, and they became college or university rather. So you can imagine. So we must realize that. Right? We must realize that this is very, very important thing. And that is why I think the visionaries like Rajaram Bapu Patil, who did this kind of work here and established this series of colleges and institutions, whether they are commerce, arts, and science and engineering, this is a great contribution. That is why your area is flourishing. Right? Your area is flourishing because of education. So education is a basic need, and we must applaud that. Okay? This is as far as the first part is concerned. The second part is very important, and that is closer to my heart. I had a formal presentation, but I'm not going to give it because there are a lot of slides and all, and you will get confused. Or you might sleep also, because you will, when you look at the slide, So I'm not going to read out any slides, but I will tell you what I mean by that. You use these days, you talk about, this net zero, okay, shunya, carbon virahit. That might be some headlines in the newspapers. I don't know what they write in Marathi newspaper, but that is the trend these days. Net zero, net carbon zero. And why are they saying it? See, it is raining these days. Why did it rain? Which is, unseasonal. It is not expected to rain, right? It should be raining sometime in the last week of May or maybe first week of June, but it has rained now. That means there is a climate change, and we have affected this earth because of our activities, because of industrialization, because we did not care for the environment. We were greedy. We said that, okay, let us make progress, but we did not consider the environment as a part of it. We did not consider water as a basic necessity, which is polluted. And because you are from area where a lot of sugar factories are there, you see that earlier they used to let this molasses go into the sugar rivers, and the rivers will be polluted, fish will be dead and whatnot. Animals would die. This was very common feature, but everybody neglected that, and now we have realized that, okay, that is not good. That is because the atmospheric concentration of carbon dioxide has risen. It has risen tremendously. If you look at the industrial revolution, industrialization, rather we started in 1750. That time the concentration of CO2, carbon dioxide, was 270 ppm. Today it is 422, and that is responsible for this climate change. So carbon dioxide is singularly responsible for raising the temperature of the globe. And if we continue this way, we do not have any technological intervention to stop this carbonization of the economy. In next 150 years, we'll all be dead and gone. There will not be any planet Earth, because the temperature would by then will rise by 7 to 8 degrees C, and the concentration will be 2000 ppm. Remember, today it is 422 ppm. Before the pandemic, the COVID pandemic, it was only 410 ppm. During that particular year, when there was no economic activity, it became 412 ppm. 2 ppm we added. That means there was some activity going on, not so much. And today it is 422. That means we have added so much of carbon dioxide. So what we require is carbon dioxide free technologies. So the net zero concept, that means whatever carbon dioxide we emit should be taken up, and this is where people say, "Are plant more trees, plant more trees." But they are forgetting one basic fact, which is very simple fact. And what is that? Yes, how many trees you will plant? What about the land, where it is available? What kind of trees will you plant? Right? Yes, so what we want, we think that the nature should take care of the carbon dioxide by photosynthesis. And so the rate at which is being done is not sufficient to stop this, this carbon emissions. So we have to go for carbon-free technology, because everybody needs energy. We need energy. All of you are having the mobile phone, right? You are having mobile, it requires charging. This is also, it's at least 3 times the power went up. That time you feel, oh, where is this power coming from? So is it because of coal-fired power plants, or is it because of solar energy, wind energy, nuclear energy, geothermal energy, what it is? So this is what is a very big issue. And government of India has taken a big lead in this solar energy. India is the leader in solar energy alliance. Okay, that is very good thing. And what they said that we will have 900 gigawatt of energy by the year 2030, and we will be a net exporter of energy. Right now we are importing all this crude oil from Middle East and all other places. And perhaps what the commoners do not know, that these crude oil prices are affected by the geopolitics. It is nothing to do with government of India or any other government. In 1973-74, when there was an oil embargo, overnight the price of crude oil shot up like anything. It jeopardized our entire economy, and therefore we went to Bombay and got this ONGC and others. That is how the crude oil excavation started in India. So necessity is the mother of invention, as the adage goes. This is what exactly happened then. Okay, so we started looking for optional alternate energy. So this solar and wind, this is because of this, because it is carbon-free energy. Nuclear energy is also carbon-free energy. Now to solar energy, suppose we want to have 450 gigawatt solar energy, it requires $500 billion investment. So it will create new types of jobs. So we have to be ready for that. We have to be ready for these new types of jobs. We are talking about EVs, the electric vehicles, and everybody, you see that, the green, plate, number plate, that is an electric vehicle. But it's a dichotomy. Electric vehicle, which is run on electricity, but if you have to get the electricity, where are you getting that? By burning coal. That means actually it is coal-driven vehicle, not electricity-driven vehicle. So we have to also think that the electricity which comes is also from green source. So making green energy is a very, very important thing. And this is where solar, wind, I always say this is the Trinity, okay? Trimurti, right? Trinity. In Hindu scriptures we talk about Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. For me as a scientist, the Trinity is solar energy, wind energy, and hydrogen energy. And in this, I put hydrogen on the top, because hydrogen can be used to convert biomass, waste biomass, municipal solid waste, wherever there is a carbon into chemicals, fuels and materials. So that is the beauty of that. Because by 2050, we will not have any crude oil. So we have to think of options and we must start now. One of the things our farmers do, because I am a farmer's son, I know what, I used to go to farm, I used to cut sugar cane and whatnot. Before going to the school, we had to do that. That ritual was there, it was a part of our daily routine. So these farmers will burn this agri-waste, thinking that it will heat the soil, okay, it will kill all the insects and all, and the soil will be fertile. Of course, char is required for, but it does not mean that you pollute the entire atmosphere. So what should they do? Hydrogen will be a great source to convert this biomass, waste biomass, municipal solid waste into fuels and chemicals. So, I was called last year in that Vasantdada Sugar Institute. They had all Sakar Samrats were there and all ministers and everybody was there. Nitin Gadkari was there. I was called to give a lecture how farmers can benefit by green hydrogen. And I said that there are many things. Now farmers should have cooperative societies, not just the sugar cooperative, but they can collect all this waste, chop it up, make particles, pelletization and transport it, and that can be converted into chemicals, materials, fuels. Because that is, and also for example, in this the rice husk, the rice husk, that contains 92% silica. So we can take that silica, and that's a very great source of, commercial silica. It can be used in tires and what other chemicals. But the cellulose, hemicellulose and lignin, that part, in fact, I jokingly say that the farmers need not grow sugarcane. I can still make sugar from hemicellulose. 6 different kind of sugars I can make. Because that is what the beauty of science and technology. If problems are created by one technology, another must solve. That is what history of technology tells us. And another pet theme which people talk about these days is plastic ban. Right? Plastic ban, single-use plastic. The government of India, Ministry of Environment, Forest, Climate Change, that ministry brought out a notification on August 2nd, 2021. You know what it said? Single-use plastic should be banned. Right? You cannot even have a straw. And people raid, see, some of these authorities, law enforcement authorities raid these small, vendors, and they will fine them. What is happening in that? These law enforcement authorities are becoming rich because they are crooked. Basically, they are corrupt. They are not honest people. They will find somebody and take that plastic also, 10 kg plastic. Give me 10,000 rupees. Poor fellow, from where is he going to get that 10,000? So we are creating a nuisance in society by banning single-use plastic. I had a solution, and I still have a solution, and I tell this. And there are videos, you might see them. You know what I said? See, every article, for example, this bottle here, I was telling yesterday also in Vishwaraj University, this bottle, now it says 7 rupees, right, on this. Instead of 7 rupees, you go to the airport, the same bottle will cost you 100 rupees. 100 rupees. The cup of tea is 200 rupees. Right, there is nothing more, 200 rupees cup. And so supposing there was 1 extra rupee on this, or 3, and make it 10 rupees. 10 rupees bottle. And you say, you return this bottle, you will get your 3 rupees back. 3 rupees is the, deposit for returning it. So what will happen at the end of this function, you will steal these bottles which are remaining here. Because you will get money. If there is no money, there is no incentive, you will throw it. That is what is happening because we are not responsible for pollution. Nowhere in our schools we are taught. For example, you have this plastic thaili, right? The bag comes with the milk pouch. Supposing there was a deposit of 1 rupee or 5 rupee on that milk pouch, so it is say 60 rupees a liter, 65 you pay, still you will pay, but you say that please return it. And you may have some, mark on that, okay? Whatever you use any identifier. So you return that, you get your money back. So like the newspaper boy comes to your home every day in the morning, the housewife will never throw the newspaper. She will collect it and give it back to the, another boy who collects the raddi, right? He comes and collects the raddi. The housewife is happy. Sometimes the content in the newspapers, particularly the supplements, you are from newspaper, right? They are worth that only. They are better as raddi than what is written there. You cannot read it. It is all full of advertisements and nonsensical things. I'm jokingly telling that. It may be containing something useful because the other content overwhelms the real content. So people don't read it. But housewife will never throw that newspaper. So supposing the same housewife is told, another boy will come to your home and collect these pouches and return your money. So the sorting out at source becomes a big income. Another boy gets some employment and you don't have to pay. You just make use of the digital technology, some app, and you return that money to the housewife. And government gives 5% commission to whoever collects this. Because plastic recycling, chemical recycling, and their hydrogen will play a great role. I'm telling you that. That's what I have proved. Hydrogen will play a great role. This PET bottle, we can depolymerize it, all these, plastic thiles and whatever. And why do we do it? Why do we throw it? Because the vendor, the vegetable vendor gives you free. Sometimes he gives 3-4 and it is light. So you say, because it is free, you don't appreciate. Nothing free is appreciated. You go to any marriage party or the party which is birthday party. These the young kids, the college kids have a lot of birthday parties, right? The middle of the night. So what they do, because it is free, you waste the food also. And in the marriage parties, even in villages, earlier we used to have small, maybe rice and dal, maybe some laddu and whatever they used to give. These days you have Malaysian food, Thai food, South Indian, North Indian, Punjabi, name it, all sorts of food is kept in the marriage hall or party hall. And because it is free, you take it and you don't like it and throw it. Supposing there was another, there is a box in front of each dish and it says, you want to take this food, put 10 rupees there or 5 rupees there. Your wife will not allow you to touch that because she will say, we are going to lose 5 rupees. What is the advantage of that? You will collect that money and you can give it as a gift to the bride and groom. Aher द्यायची गरज नाही, you can give that only. Believe me, this will save food, it will save food wastage, and it will encourage recycle. What I am saying this, it is, if we encourage recycle of anything, that is what is sustainability. Otherwise, we will require 3 more earths. We have only one earth. We have only one earth. So the so-called recycle engineering or circular economy, which we talk about, is this, that nothing is waste but something is useful. And remember, in the villages, I still remember, my mother never threw any old clothes. She will collect them and make that, what is it called, godadi, right? You will see, and we use it. We used it for a number of years. Are we doing it these days? You don't do it. Because you got so many, you became affluent. So reuse, recycle, reduce, these are the mantras of the circular economy, and this is where we reduce the carbon dioxide emissions also. Another problem is batteries, right? We will be having a lot of batteries. By 2030, that is the government of India's declared policy, that we will have everything EVs. We will take out all those things, right? Because we want to reduce the carbon emissions, and as I told you before, unless we have green energy, you cannot achieve that. Maybe you have EVs, but not green energy. So we want green energy. The batteries, they have a life up to 80%. So once the capacity goes down to 80%, it cannot be recharged and used as for EVs. So EV batteries with 80% can be used for some other purpose. There is a second life. And China is number 1 in that. They will have $45 billion market, 9% growth rate. So if you want to start business here, we used to laugh at Bhangarwala, right? Are kai viktoy Bhangarwala. Nobody will give his daughter to a Bhangarwala. But now Bhangarwalas we are becoming rich because they are recycling. They are encouraging recycle. So the battery recycle is one of the great things which we'll have, because we don't have lithium. Now we got some lithium in Kashmir, so we have become Gaga. We say, okay, but no, we don't have that much quantity of lithium. So recycle is another thing, whether it is material, battery, or anything, we have to recycle. A lot of carbon dioxide is emitted by shipping industry, almost 2.5% of carbon dioxide which comes out. Last year we emitted 40 gigatons of carbon dioxide. And we have to bring it down to less than 10 gigatons. Then only our temperature of the globe, which we have promised, 195 nations in 2015 Paris Agreement, we said that we will bring down the temperature to less than 1.5 degrees during this century. Okay, for that, you cannot have more than 10 gigatons of CO2 going into the atmosphere. That means all other things we have to bring down. See, 30 gigatons carbon dioxide has to be brought down to 10. That means carbon should not be used as a fuel. So then, carbon dioxide. So I've been working in this area, so-called green hydrogen. Green hydrogen means water splitting. You get hydrogen and oxygen. 1 kg of hydrogen will give 8 kg of oxygen. And I've been saying that I can produce hydrogen in less than $1. We have developed technology. So that is one part of the story. That same hydrogen can be used for converting biomass into variety of chemicals. That oxygen can be used. So remember what it means, my feedstock is water. And the other part is green ammonia, because farmers know ammonia. They know fertilizer, they know urea, they know supla and whatnot. Correct? So green ammonia means what? You coax nitrogen out of air by pressure swing adsorption, and that nitrogen you react with hydrogen, grade ammonia, that is green ammonia. So henceforth we will have vehicles running on not only hydrogen but ammonia, green ammonia. And the green ammonia will give me green fertilizer industry. The carbon dioxide I can convert into methanol. The methanol will be also fuel, like right now they are using bioethanol. But bioethanol is a bad idea, I am telling you, as a scientist. Because that means you may have net zero, but we want negative. As I told you that means no carbon should be used as a fuel. It is all non-carbon based, energy sources. That is what we have to do. So carbon dioxide into methanol, carbon dioxide into methane, carbon dioxide into higher hydrocarbons, carbon dioxide into dimethyl ether. These are going to be our future fuels. And dimethyl ether can be used for the gas line LPG, which is being used. You use it in the cooking. So we can have dimethyl ether. Or methanol can be mixed with petrol and diesel like ethanol. So that becomes another source, and that will come from carbon dioxide. So ladies and gentlemen, we have developed this technology in ICT. We have been working in this area, and the government also wants us to do it on a much faster rate. We are going to build a big pilot plant in Goa and maybe somewhere in Andhra Pradesh. But this is the joy and beauty of doing research and trying to know the unknown, the future, and that is what is, very, very important. So those who are teachers here, and you said that you have 9 professors, Professor Shinde, you said you have 9 professors. Congratulations to you. But what are those 9 professors doing? I'm asking you the next question. Are they doing the top-notch research? Is your management encouraging them? Are they applying in competitive research grants? Are they having collaboration with industry? The first thing which you should do, you should solve the local problems. And there are hordes and hordes of problems, local problems. There are so many problems. Common man faces so many problems. Are we solving those problems? So it is said, think globally, act locally. Our graduates in future, like you said, I was very happy to know some of your students are abroad and doing well and doing research. So what it means, if your students are well trained, they can be accepted. In future, Indian students will be serving Germany, Japan, most of the Europe, because their population will go down. They will not have engineers and, these technicians and medical doctors. So we have been provided with a great opportunity, God-given opportunity. So why not educate our people? We should have startup companies, so-called, unicorn companies. Do you know what is meant by unicorn? The startup company which will have $1 billion income is unicorn. So many of our students have become unicorn. I was lucky first for Vice Chancellor of UDCT, ICT where I studied. We have produced more than 700 first generation entrepreneurs. And their contribution to Indian exchequer is 8% of GDP. No other institute, including the IITs, can claim that. I can claim that. Mukesh Ambani is my student. So here it sells everything. Okay, Anji Reddy is our student. And there are many, many students who have done exceptionally well. So what did we tell them? And I'm telling you as a management, you should help poor students. And the poor students who gets, you must give them some scholarship, fellowship, whatever you want, you give them. And they should be grateful to the Mother Institute. The Alumni Association should work for the Mother Institute. Who are your flag bearers, your ambassadors? Your students, right? Your students. So XYZ student goes somewhere, he says, I'm from, so you form some sort of, club. So I went to some Marathi program in USA, in Rhode Island. So this a lot of our expatriate students, they had made some corners. There one was UDCT Katta, Balmohan Katta, COEP Katta. That means anybody who is from that institute goes and sits there and others will come and they will ask, which year you passed out? Because some of there is the age variation from recent graduates to very old graduates. That is the camaraderie. So Alumni Association teaches a camaraderie. So every year in December, you should call your alumni. Not only the alumni, their wives and kids also. They let them know where their parents studied. They should know now, they should be proud of that fact. My children don't believe that I studied in that small village in the temple, right? They always believe that I studied somewhere else. But I'm very happy to tell them, I studied here. We did not have shoes on our foot and we used to walk barefooted. So that is the beauty. That was very interesting. A part of the life where you have, what is there? Scarcity of everything, scarcity of materials, money, but I had the willpower. There I could succeed. I never accepted, that I cannot do it. So many times people ask me, what is your success formula? I said a very simple, I will describe it in 3 P's. There are 2 sets of 3 P's and then I will conclude. One is for faculty members, because I was telling you that I'm enticing you to do good research. You cannot blame your head of the department or the principal or the director if you don't work. Right? If you don't work, sometimes, the lady teacher, she's, weaving some sweater or something for the kid. And she says, why that lady? I am also a professor. Why she is more productive than me? Then you should identify. Nobody is your enemy. You stand before the mirror and you will find the enemy there because you are not putting in hard work. Intelligence, everybody is intelligent, but the hard work makes the difference. And that hard work has to be intelligent hard work. So I say patent. If you have an idea, patent it, and management should help them in patenting it because IPR is Lakshmi, remember. So patent it, then publish it in the best of the journals, and then prosper. You should allow your faculty members to have their startup companies. Start something. You said you started, Kanya Mahavidyalaya. Why not have these startup companies? Incubation centers. That you should do. So this is one set of P, 3P. P, patent, publish, and prosper. And you decide a formula, how much the faculty member should give to the institute and how much he should retain, without sacrificing the quality of teaching. And believe me, the most, the busiest person is always available for doing things. The principal always knows it. The most useless person, faculty member, will say that he has no time. He may be playing carom or playing cards, but he will say he doesn't have time. So this is what you should encourage your creative, the most productive faculty members. Then you should do undergraduate research also, because that is the crux of success. These days, undergraduate research is valued a lot, even in the NBA and NAC, undergraduate research. And you can do cross-disciplinary research. You don't have to have person in the same discipline. In fact, it is a bad idea to have person in the same discipline, because somebody else brings some new idea because he has not thought of it. Like, the Lord Kelvin, the Kelvin temperature, those of you who are science graduates would know Kelvin. Thomson. You know what he said? It is impossible to fly in the air because the metal is so heavy, 1,000 times heavier than air. And within 8 years, the Wright brothers flew. Because they did not know. They did not know that it is metal is heavier, so heavier. So that means imagination. So sometimes somebody who is coming from some other discipline may contribute more. So you have that here. You may have some literal marriage of science and engineering, not girl and boy, but some student from science colleges working in engineering department and vice versa. That will lead to innovation because we are talking of innovation. And the other thing which is for personal happiness, success, this is another set of 3P, is patience, perseverance and pardon. You must have immense patience because you don't become successful overnight. You may envy the person, you may envy the neighbor, but you don't work hard and you don't have patience. You give up immediately. Giving up immediately is the very bad idea. Even you should believe the dead man can rise from ashes, come to life. That much faith you should have. And you have to persevere. You must not give up. The failure is temporary. Success is autocatalytic. Suppose you fail in our idea, you learn something else. Why did you fail? So the question you have to ask, why? Even if you become successful, why did you become successful and why did you fail? These questions if you answer, then you will become. And the last thing in the 3P set is pardon. You should pardon people. Teachers must pardon their students. Because I'm sure many of the students do mistakes and you don't like it. Maybe they insult you. These days students are not respectful of the professors. They think they know more than you. Because they have the mobile phone in their hand, they think they know more. Maybe they have access to that information, but is it correct? Why pardon? Because if you pardon somebody, you can sleep very peacefully and happily. And the person who has acted against your interest and tried to harm you, he becomes restless. He doesn't have proper sleep because he is worrying, why did he pardon me? I did all this nonsense to him, but he has pardoned me. So this is another P. Patience, perseverance and pardon. Then you can become success. Okay, and you will have success. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so delighted to be here to inaugurate your program. And I thought it is better to talk extempore rather than going through the slides. And so this is what I believe is very, very important. Remember, by the year 2050, we will require 539 million tons of hydrogen. So hydrogen economy is going to be a reality. Many times people think, if it is hydrogen, oh, is it a hydrogen bomb? Because they have thought of this nuclear thing, right? This atom bomb. Hydrogen is not hydrogen bomb. It is deuterium which is hydrogen bomb. Hydrogen is lighter than air, 14 times lighter. And it can dissipate in atmosphere. It has a lower limit and upper limit. But these days we have got great sensor technologies. So we don't have to worry. All simulations, everything has shown that hydrogen is safer than petrol and diesel, which you are using every day. Okay? So, my personal belief is that hydrogen economy will be a reality. Although you mentioned, by 2070, Government of India wants to go to net zero. It is a political decision. My personal belief, our scientists, engineers, and industries are capable of achieving that target much before 2050. Because we did not know 25 years ago we will have this mobile phone in our hand, which is more powerful than the IBM machine, which they introduced in 1942. It was introduced for US census. Remember, it was introduced in US and they said the world requires only 2 computers of that kind. Bill Gates said in 1984, we require only 64 KB RAM. Now, a kid born yesterday, toddler, doesn't accept a toy less than 1 GB. He also says 64 kb means is backward, right? So that is the power of imagination, and that is going to be the future. Ladies and gentlemen, in future human beings can live up to 150 years. Our human body, which is designed by nature, God, whatever you may think, is capable of living 150 years. But we abuse our body because of bad habits and all. But technology is so much advanced, we can have so many non-invasive technology, replacement of heart and liver and kidney and skin. At 95% of our human body can be replaced, and we will have a new body. And in Bhagavad Gita it is said, Nainam chandanti vastrani nainam dahati pavaka nacha kledayantya apo na soshoedu maruta. Atma is not clad, this soul is not burned, it is not made work, it goes from one body to another body. That is the Bhagavad Gita concept. And another very interesting, Vasansi jirnani yatha vihaya narani grahati praroparani. That is, Atma is just taking another piece of cloth. That is the concept, right? So with science and technology, not only will live 150 years, but also we will have enjoyment. We will do something else. Supposing you are a cricketer, then you may become a professor. Or you are a professor, you may become a farmer, something else. This is going to happen. So in the year 2100, death will not be a problem, life will be, because you should know what to do with that life. Because we are living longer, this Parkinson's and Alzheimer's and all, right? We will find cure to that. We will find cure to all sorts of cancers, because we know now, we can predict things. And we are interested in Janma Patri, right? Kundali. Our Kundali will be genome. If you do genome, one of my friends from Germany, he told me this about 5 years ago. He did his genome analysis for 100 euros. And what he found? His genome said he will become blind in next 10 years' time. So he started taking precaution. And he reversed that. So henceforth, you can do genome analysis. Now it has started. Reliance Life Sciences has started genome. You will come to know what diseases you are likely to suffer in future. So you take precaution now only. ज्योतिषाकडे जायची गरज नाही. You go to a genome scientist and he will tell you. So, yes. So, what I am trying to tell you, I am encouraging you. You live longer, you live the healthier life. That is what it means. Contribute to society, because ultimately we are part of a human society. And we should, help the society. Scientists and engineers must help the society to have better life. And it is said that it is not just the scientists and engineers who take patents. In America, 10% of the patents are taken by arts and humanities. The professors have their, startup companies. So why? It believes in one single principle, which is said in Rigveda. Because you said, you read my CV that I like Sanskrit and Vedas and all. That's a fact. That's my passion. So you know what it says? Ano bhadra krutuvo yantu vishvata. Let the noble thoughts, the good thoughts come to us from all directions, so that we all live in a peaceful world. Thank you very much.
Sir, I was talking about the hunger, and hunger is still there. I don't know, that was eye-opening, inspiration, basic sciences, chemistry, physics, bio to engineering technology to philosophy. Really woven by your length, breadth and depth of everything you have. Hats off to you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Marching forward, I again call upon Dr. Deepak Patil to read the credentials of President of today's function, Honorable Dr. P.S. Patil. Sir, please.
So this is another opportunity to introduce our very enthusiastic and dynamic personality of Shivaji University, Pro Vice Chancellor Dr. P.S. Patil, Dr. P.S. Patil, that is Dr. Pramod Patil, sir, as his biodata, as I am going to read you with your permission. He has done MSc in Shivaji University in 1986, PhD in 1990. He is working as a professor in Department of Physics in Shivaji University, Kolhapur since 1990. One of the top 10 knowledge producers in India by Career 360 ranking. He is an outstanding research faculty award by Career 360 ranking in India. He is an ex-coordinator of Department of Energy Technology. He is a coordinator of School of Nanosciences and Technology. He is a head of Department of Physics and produced 45 PhD and 6 MPhil students. He is working as a PhD guide for 5 PhD students and 1 MPhil student, and published 460 research papers in the international and national journals as well as well-reputed journals, around 550 abstracts of national and international conferences. His total citations for the papers are 16,813. H index is 66, I-10 index is 360, and he has research paper viewed by Mendelis. There is around 4,20,000. He has wrote 4 books, 3 book chapters, 1 Korean and 3 Indian patents, and submitted 1 patent. He was the recipient of prestigious German Academic Exchange Service Fellowship Award in 1996 to 1998 at Handmeister Institute, Berlin, Germany. He was the recipient of prestigious Brain Pool Fellowship Award of South Korea in 2005 and 6 from the National University of Seoul in South Korea. He is the fellow member of Institute of Physics, London. He is the fellow of Maharashtra Academy of Sciences in November 2013. He is the life member of the National Academy of Science, India. He is the member of World Class Ranking Intelligent Unit. He is a recipient of prestigious Brain Pool Fellowship Award of South Korea, and it is given by the Chennam National University, South Korea. He was the Dean of Science, Engineering, Medical Faculty of Shivaji University, Kolhapur. He is the BOS Chairman of Physics in Shivaji University. Is the BOS member of Physics of Sanjay Ghodawat University, Savitribai Phule University, Solapur University, Bambu University, Aurangabad, at all universities. He is the member of Governing Council of Walchand College of Sangli and member of UGC New Delhi on the committee to give autonomous status to the colleges. The best microscopy image in the world, this is the award which is conferred to him in 2010. The best cover image award, which is called as a Materials Today, and that was conferred to him in 2011. He is the life member of several academic bodies in India and abroad. He is the coordinator of MOU between Shivaji University and University of Ontario, Canada, as well as the MOU between Shivaji University and National Dong Hua University, Taiwan. He is the participant of Indo-Japanese Joint Project in 2013. He has visited so many different countries like USA, Germany, France, Singapore, South Korea, Taiwan, and Japan. He has a research interest and given the world ranking and Indian ranking as per Scopus 2019, the smart window coating having the ranking 6th in the world and the 1st in India. Toxic gas sensors ranks 20th in the world and the 1st in India. CZ TS solar cells ranked in 11th in the world and 3rd in the India. He is particularly the established strong international and national scientific collaborations. He is the editor of International Journal of Material Science, Hindi publishers. He is the review editor of Frontiers in Materials. He is an international research project reviewer by the Pazi Foundation, Israel government. He is the visiting professor of Chonnam National University, South Korea, and he has got individual projects worth rupees 4.75 crores. So big claps to Dr. P.S. Patil sir. He got the Best Teacher Award from Shivaji University, Kolhapur in 2014, and one of his PhD students has received Best PhD thesis in the world in 2014. We have here with our esteemed president of this inaugural function, Dr. P.S. Patil sir. Thank you very much.
So one more researcher, academician and administrator with hundreds of papers and dozens of patents. Sir, please.
Honorable Chief Guest of today's function, very renowned scientist of the country, Honorable Padma Shri Dr. G.D. Yadav sir, the invited speaker and Vice Chancellor of HBSU, Professor Dr. R.K. Kamath sir, Honorable Principal Dr. R.D. Sawant sir, Dr. Kulkarni Madam, Director of RIT, Dr. V.G. Kale, Principal of this college and Convener of this conference, and newly nominated as an Academic Council member of Shivaji University, Dr. D.R. Patil, Dr. S.R. Mane, all the faculty members, teachers, researchers, and my dear participant friends. I am indeed very happy to be here on the occasion of inaugural function of 2 days international conference on recent trends in pure and applied sciences organized by KRP Kanya Mahavidyalaya, Islampur. In fact, we have listened to very good talk given by Honorable Dr. G.D. Yadav sir, and he emphasized and he highlighted the importance of global warming, climate change, and sustainable development, and has given us some of the hints and ideas of how to create sustainable societies. So what he emphasized in his talk was the sustainable development. What is sustainable development? If you talk in a very simple manner and simple definition, is that sustainable development is to make the world a better place for everyone without destroying the possibilities for the next generation. And that is the challenge for us. Are we destroying the possibilities for the next generation? That is the big question that we have to ask ourselves today. Whether this generation is at the fault, and shall we blame this generation because we are snatching some of the opportunities from the next generation and next to next generation. For example, what are the challenges now that are there in front of us today are the air that we breathe today, whether the quality of the air that we breathe today is going to remain the same for the next 25, 50 years, that we have to ask ourselves. Because the amount of CO2 that we are emitting into the atmosphere and degrading the atmosphere to such a great extent that I myself thought that probably we are degrading the atmosphere and thereby the quality of the air will be bad and bad ever, maybe after 25 years. So that means we are depriving our next generation of taking this quality of the air from them, and we are at the fault. And it is only because of CO2 emission. There may be some other reasons, but that are not those dominant, but CO2 is the dominant reason. Then we also have to ask the question to ourselves, the quality of the water that we drink today, whether it will be remaining the same for the next 50 years or so. Probably the answer is no. Because when I was a college student, I used to go here and there, and whenever I used to have a thirsty I used to drink any tap water or any water which is available on the roadside. Or in the college, tap water, just open it and drink it. There was no problem. That was the quality of the water those days, that means before 30 years. But today, can we drink that water? Can we drink the tap water? Probably in every house we have RO plant, we have some aquaguard, we have some water purifiers or bottled water. Some 30 years back, there was no bottled water sort of thing. Nobody has thought, except the hardcore chemist like Professor G.D. Yadav sir. He can foresee because of his extensive research. But we did not think about that particular thing because we are laymen, and today we have to drink this bottled water. Probably tomorrow, the water bottle now, which is costing about 10 rupees, may cost about 500 rupees. That means we are depriving our next and next to next generation by drinking, by their access, lack of access of drinking, quality drinking water. So only 3% of our global water is a potable drinking water, and we are polluting that water. These are the problems of the future. There is no rocket engineering, there is a problem of sustainable human being. If we really want to have sustainable society, we have to think about these simple things and find out and do a lot of research, eco-friendly research, in order to save our environment, in order to reverse the global climate change. That is the challenge that Sir has highlighted in his talk. So what exactly was the problem and how it started? Who started these particular things? So let me take you back to the history. Some millions of years ago, there was no material on the earth. And only there was one material with the help of which the people were manufacturing weapons and wheels. And that was stone. And that we called as a Stone Age. And that particular Stone Age was dominated only by one material, and that was stone. No other metals, compounds and materials were available those days for several millions of years ago. But then, some 3,000 years ago, people found out three precious materials and metals on the earth. And those are silver, copper and gold. Have you understood this? Some 3,000 years back in the history, if you peep it and see, the three metals, they were invented and they were found on the earth. There was no research. They found in the earth. Okay, but those three metals were precious materials, but they were malleable and soft. So those people, they did not manufacture wheels and weapons because they were soft. You cannot prepare gold sword to kill anyone because it is malleable and soft. Even though you manufacture a sword made up of gold, and if you hit someone, he will not be able to hurt him because it is malleable and soft. So several thousands of years, there was no other materials and metals than copper, gold and silver. Some 1,000 years back, that means after the invention of copper, gold and silver, 2,000 years after that, that means 1,000 years back, there was an invention of very wonderful material. People, early metallurgists were there, and they found that if they add some concentration of tin into copper, then it resulted into the alloy which is called as a bronze. And that bronze was a very winning combination. Bronze, which is made up of tin and copper, it could, so the Romans, Julius Caesar even started manufacturing swords, wheels and other weapons made up of bronze because it was so hard and it was so sharp. You can cut it sharp and you can use it in the war. So more powerful is the king, more powerful is the weapon, more powerful will be the king, and he started invading the nearby territories. But soon, the early metallurgists were there who were working under Julius Caesar. They told that, sir, we have very limited reservoir of tin. So that time there was no telephone, no smartphone, no internet, no computer. But I don't know how they got the idea that there is a lot of reservoir in China. Tin reservoir which is available in China, and some few people, they went there and they started bringing this particular tin from China to Europe. And that time, the China has banned that particular thing, but they were stolen, that particular tin from China to Europe. And that time, the first word of smuggling is reported. So first smuggling is not of gold, not of silver, but of tin for making and manufacturing of the weapons. And Julius Caesar started smuggling that particular tin from China to Europe, and then he became, he is one of the great king, and he conquered a lot of nearby territories. So that was the history, and that was the history has given us the idea of how materials can change the world. Then slowly, after the invention of these materials, slowly other materials also were invented, and the iron was invented after that. But iron, what is the problem with the iron? It gets corrosion. It gets corroded very easily, so the lifetime and durability, endurance of the iron is reduced because of the corrosion. So again, those metallurgists and chemists, they started adding some materials because they had some experience of addition of tin into copper. They started adding this carbon, molybdenum and chromium into the iron, so that gave rise to the stainless steel, which is very, very strong. So they had a plethora of variety of metals and materials available. They had steels, and some time back they were also invented cement, and therefore those ecosystem, that particular ecosystem was very right for fueling industrial revolution. So industrial revolution started after that, because we had everything, plenty of things were available. Early metallurgists had done a lot of things that fueled industrial revolution. But as we know, for the industry we need energy. From where we can extract energy from? That time there were only three sources of energy: coal, oil and gas. So thousands of years, hundreds of years, we are burning coal, oil and gas. No problem, we are getting energy out of them, but the problem is the byproduct of burning coal, oil and gas, and that is CO2. CO2 is a carbon dioxide, emission was taking place, but that time we were not aware. Let it happen, we are getting energy, that is good. 2004, there was an invention of a plastic. Until today, our life is dominated by the plastic. But today we have to bother not about the plastic, but the micro and nanoplastic, which is there probably in the drinking water that we consume today. That is the pollution, water pollution we are making. And how can you assure that our next generation will get a pure water? Because it is already getting polluted with so many toxic chemicals and materials, and even plastic is being dissolved and getting into the water, and probably we are consuming plastic with the water unknowingly. If we know that there is a plastic in the water, we will never drink it, but we don't know and we cannot see because it is in the form of micro and nano that you cannot see with your bare eyes. That is the problem of the future, and therefore we need to construct. We need to go for the sustainable society. We need to take care of the earth. Several thousand years, the global average temperature of the earth did not change. It remained constant. For our surprise, there was no change at all, because those days, though we were burning coal, oil and gas, the concentration of the CO2 that was emitting was very less. That was not being harmful to the atmosphere. But now it is in 2023, lot of concentration of the CO2 is being accumulated in the upper atmosphere. Today we have to bother about that. In olden days, there was not a necessary thing. People did not worry about the climate change. They only wanted the development. So they started developing, and they developed many things by using and burning coal, oil and gas. But today we can no more burn coal, oil and gas, and therefore the first development should be in the form of extracting energy or generation of and creation of energy from other renewable, non-renewable energy resources, by which we should not emit a single milligram of CO2s into the atmosphere. That is the challenge. Okay? So several thousand years, global average temperature of the earth was not changed, and it remained constant, but now it is changing. How much it is changing? The concentration of CO2 that is accumulated into the atmosphere was only 300 ppm. But now, today, it is slightly more than 400 ppm. And because of that change and rise in the concentration of CO2, what is the effect of that? The global average temperature has rose up by 1 degree Celsius, probably 0.8 degrees Celsius only. Then you may think that, sir, there is only 0.8 degrees Celsius. Why we should worry about that? Is it really horrible? Is it really dangerous? Let me tell you one simple example. When we are now sitting here in the hall, that means we don't have any temperature. What is your body temperature today? And now, when you are not having any illnesses, 98 probably, right? What is 98 degrees Celsius or Fahrenheit? Fahrenheit. And if you have a fever, only 2 degrees Fahrenheit change will make you a fever, will create fever in you. That is 100 degrees Celsius. We say that with the help of thermometer, if it is 100, that means we get really disturbed and we go to the doctor and take some pills or consume some crocin and calpol and try to reduce our body temperature to 98. So there is only 2 degrees Fahrenheit change in the body temperature that will disturb you. Similarly, this 0.8 degrees Celsius temperature in the atmosphere is disturbing us. We have only 6 years, 150 days to take the steps and reverse the trend of climate change. After that, that means roughly 2030, after that, the climate change becomes irreversible. Whatever you do, it will not change. It will not reduce. The global average temperature, the global warming will not be reversed, and therefore that we reached at a threshold from where it is irreversible. Probably that time we were too old to bother, but the next generation is there, next generation would be there, they should bother, and therefore we had to bother. Okay? So probably ours is the first generation to feel the impact of climate change, and last generation to do something about it. Ours is the first generation and last generation to do something about it. We are feeling the impact of climate change. Therefore, it is the high time that we should take forward some steps towards the global warming, to take some steps to protect our environment from the climate change. Today, even by sitting at the Islampur like city, you are feeling the climate change. There are some heavy rains, and there are some cyclones and many other climate changes that we are experiencing. Probably farmers can tell you more about the climate change. They are experiencing more than us. Floods are coming, cyclones are coming, earthquakes are increasing, sea level is rising, ice is melting. Many things are happening at the micro level in the world. Even though you may ask me a question, sir, if the ice is melting at the Antarctica, why should we worry at Islampur? Because that is their problem, it is not our problem. No, if it is their problem, it is our problem also. Because climate change is not theirs and ours problem, it is ours problem. And who is responsible? Not them, not we, but I am responsible for this climate change. That particular aptitude has to be there, and that attitude has to be there, and therefore we should all come together and do some steps, take some steps and do something for the betterment of our environmental protection and do some eco-friendly things so that we can protect our environment and we can reverse that particular trend by reaching that particular 2030. Before 2030, we have to take some steps and avoid climate change as soon as possible. That is a real challenge in front of us. Sir was talking about several different technologies. Green hydrogen is going to be there as a next generation energy resource. Solar energy, we are already using solar energy, but we have to increase the use of solar energy because that is not emitting CO2 at all. So just place a solar cell in the light, expose that solar cell with the light, it will start generating electricity without any noise, without any vibration, without any machining, without motors, but it will start generating electricity. That is the device that we need to develop. Of course, it is developed, we at least need to install it. So at Shivaji University, we are already independent on this water first. First of all, I will speak on the water. Because we are now celebrating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, on this occasion we should take a pause and think what we should do next for the next 50 years or 25 years. What will be our onward march? Okay? So first thing, even Honorable Prime Minister has emphasized that we should have Atmanirbhar Bharat. For Atmanirbhar Bharat, at least you have to create your college and university Atmanirbhar on water and electricity or water and energy first. So we started we tried to become independent on this water, and we have enough water saved and stored on the surface of the campus so that each and every student and each and every laboratory is the water supply is from our own reservoir. We are not buying a single liter of water from KMC, Kolhapur Municipal Corporation. We are independent of water. Now our this year target, because Shivaji University is also celebrating Hirak Mahotsav. We have completed 60 years, and on the eve of that Hirak Mahotsav, we have taken a pledge, and we want to convert our energy campus as a solar campus. We are already only 200 kilowatt, but what we consume every day, and we have to pay electricity charges of about 20 lakhs per month. And our consumption is 700 kilowatt, so we have planned 700 kilowatt of installation this year, and have taken the budget out of that, and that is 3 crores of budget is required. We already made a provision in that, and thereby probably within 1 year we are independent on energy. That is not enough. Of course, that is enough for the campus. But what about the city? What about the country? What about our state? And this and that. And therefore, recently we have signed an agreement with Swaraj Energy Foundation. Swaraj Energy Foundation is a very big foundation, and with the help of that particular signed agreement, we are also requesting all our affiliated colleges, staff, faculty and students to take part in the Swaraj Energy Foundation. So each and every one should take part in the Swaraj Energy Foundation, thereby getting the benefit of the Swaraj Energy Foundation, because they have more stronger energy ecosystem. We can take a benefit of this. I don't have enough time to explain about Swaraj Energy Foundation, but you can see on the website, or probably you will get a circular from university where all the details will be there. Very soon you will receive a circular, and probably you will find out more details on that, and then you can motivate and inspire your faculty and students to take part in that particular Swaraj Energy Foundation. Somebody told, Sir, Mane sir told that we have come out of the COVID-19 pandemic situation. That's right. Because we are now not using mask, except Oza madam. But now we are free. Because we don't use mask, we never use no sanitizer. That means we are out of COVID-19 pandemic danger. But the more deadly danger and disease is coming, not disease exactly, dangerous situation will come, and that is climate change. We are not aware of it because it is like a slow poisoning. Okay, so we have to be very, very careful. So I liked one quote on this particular thing that may be there in your mind also. Yesterday I was clever and I wanted to change the world. But today I am wise. I want to change myself. So like that, you have to change yourself first and then talk about others, other society, other people. So are we changing? That is the question today that we need to ask on the eve of this particular conference. These types of conferences are very much beneficial. Probably they will become a turning point in your life, because you are listening to well-known resource persons who have been invited. So I congratulate Dr. V.G. Kade sir, S.R. Mane sir, because they have selected very good resource persons, and the topic is not very simple. Pure and applied sciences, anything under the umbrella of pure and applied sciences is very difficult. Of course, it is multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary, but it is difficult because somebody will talk about artificial intelligence, other will talk about the climate change, third will talk about some solar cell or fuel cell, something like that. But it is now high time that we should combine our brains together and think about what matters the most for us, and that is the sustainable society. So think and dream about the sustainable society in which everything is energy conscious, everything is eco-friendly, so that our next generation will also get good access to the water and air at least. We are also very much blessed because of there is a technology. And the material which is responsible for this technology is silicon. Without silicon, that would not have been possible. But you know, silicon is available in the form of silica. Sir also told you, Yadav sir. Silica can be obtained from the rice husk. That was my MSc project in 1985. Extracting silicon from rice husk because there is a SiO2. But then we realized that extracting silicon from SiO2 is very, very difficult and energy intensive process because you need to crack the bonds between silicon and oxygen, and that happens only at a very high temperature. So you need to have that furnace where the temperature rises up to 1800 degrees Celsius. That is a very energy intensive process, but only few countries they can do it, and there is not a question of only extracting the silicon from silicon oxide, but converting that silicon into electronic grade silicon, which is again very, very complicated thing. And not only complicated, but energy intensive thing. It is a very, very costly affair, and therefore only few countries create silicon monocrystalline ingots. You just take a wafer like a banana. You can take banana wafers or potato wafers like silicon wafers and just dope. We know the doping of tin into copper. Here you have to dope some other things like penta and trivalent impurities to become N and P type semiconductor, and therefore you can produce your solar cell on this. But for silicon solar cell, you need at least 1,000 crores of rupees. The factory cost 1,000 crore. And you produce solar cell, no problem. Indosolar is a company of Government of India. But what is the problem with that? If you have solar cell from made in India, there is a solar cell in the market made in China, which is 10 times cheaper. And even Indians are not buying our own solar cell because they are costlier. And therefore, they had to shut down. That is another race that we have to face in this particular world. That is very difficult. Race of technology race facing is very, very difficult task that we have to face. But we have to say thank you to silicon, because of which we are now using even smartphone and mobile phones and computers. There is another material which is now helpful for us and savior for human being is lithium. Without lithium batteries, we would not have smartphones, right? But that lithium reservoir on the earth is very, very small, very, very less. Okay? And therefore, sir also told us what is the importance of lithium, what is tomorrow's lithium that you have to think. And whether you can recycle the batteries and extract lithium from the batteries which are thrown away, that is another question that the students have to think. The researchers have to do research on that, and that research should be also eco-friendly. People from somewhere in Sweden, they found out lignin batteries. Sir told us, Yadav sir told us that we are burning the crops and there is a lignin in the crop. Probably if somebody expert is there from botany, they may know that lignin batteries have been fabricated very successfully from a research lab at Sweden. So that is the waste from the paper factory. So you take the waste and fabricate the battery. So waste recycling is very, very important. That also sir has emphasized and highlighted. So reduce, reuse and recycle, and not stop there, but upcycle. Upcycling means you can start with some product and end with some product. The value of the end product is far more better and larger than the starting product. That is the upcycling. For example, you can create something from the plastic, like this bottle. You can burn the bottle in the closed atmosphere and get a material which is more costlier than the plastic. That we did some experiments in our lab. We burned this particular plastic and converted that plastic into the graphene, which is more costlier than even gold. That is upcycling. There can be many more ideas from you people that you should think about how you can upcycle the things. Recycle is not difficult. Upcycling is also very, very important. Some scientist who is there is an Indian, she is an Indian scientist settled in Australia. She was obsessed about the plastic waste since her childhood, and she wanted to do something in that particular thing, how to recycle and use this plastic in some technology. She was using, she was thinking, but she did not get some opportunity. After marriage, she shifted to Australia and she is doing a lot of research over there, and she found that by burning plastic, you can convert that plastic into carbon. And the carbon is added into the iron to form green steel. So green steel, which is invented in Australia, is the path-breaking research, and that is done by our Indian lady. Okay? And so these are some of the out-of-box ideas, creative ideas that you have to think. Don't just copy and paste. You have to create your own ideas. That is the message that I want to give you today. Because unless and until we create something, we will not be a leader, we will be a follower. We means India. Okay? So what we need is India needs ignited manpower and students like you, and therefore these type of conferences are very, very important. The final material that I am going to touch on, and sir also emphasized, is the material which has converted phones into smartphones. What is that material? It is indium. It is there on the surface of everybody's smartphone. Now we don't use the keyboard on the phone, right? Our keyboard is integrated keyboard, integrated into the screen, and our finger is what do you say? It is like a keyboard or sensor. You can swap and do anything. So the material which is responsible for our phone, converting our phone into a smartphone, is indium. Very soon that indium will vanish from the surface of the earth. From the earth itself it will vanish, because when I dissolve thousands of kilos of zinc, I get 1 milligram of indium. That is also limited reservoir. So we should keep these elements into the loop as maximum as possible by minimizing the use. But we are not minimizing the use, because today everyone is using smartphone. So we are increasing the use of this indium, and very soon it will vanish. Our next generation will not be able to access the smartphones, because there is no indium at all. And therefore the research trend today is to find out some other alternative option for indium, because we are now habituated with the smartphone. So our children also need smartphone, their children will also need a smartphone, but if there is no indium, there will not be a smartphone. Another fact I will tell you, and I will stop. Madam may also know, because she is a civil engineer, right? Cement production. Calcium carbonate is a limestone. When we heat it, it gives rise to excessive amount of CO2 that we don't bother, and we get cement. Without cement, there is no progress, there is no development. The buildings, the bridges and roads are made up of cement. We are very happy to see the roads made up of cement, but we don't bother how much CO2 has been emitted during the making of cement. So today the trend is also to find out eco-friendly cement that will not emit CO2 into the atmosphere. So we have to bother about CO2. The concentration is rising and the time clock is ticking. So before the end of 6 years, 150 days, we have to take some steps in that particular direction, and that is the message that I want to give today. Probably Shivaji University will also help in that particular movement. It is not only activity, it is not only any scheme, but it is the movement that we have to take forward for the betterment of our generation and for the betterment of constructing sustainable societies. So once again, I would like to thank and congratulate all the faculty members and principal of this college for organizing such an important conference for the benefit of the students. As far as new education policy, we should conduct maximum number of such activities, academic activities, for the holistic growth of the students. Students should not be confined only to the classroom. There is a classroom really available outside the classroom. We have to tell, we have to impart that knowledge also to the students. We need to change the perspectives of the students of looking at the society. And that perspective can be changed only if you get some new knowledge through these conferences. So I will only tell you one funny joke and stop, which is related to the perspective of looking at the society. Because I am not making any claims without examples. So there were only 4 people, and there was one Patrakar. He was asking a question. There was an engineer, professor, engineer, doctor, and 4th person was very special. So he asked a question to a professor, sir, how many years would you take to buy a BMW? He said, 4 years. Then he asked the same question to an engineer, sir, how many years would you take to buy a BMW? Engineer said, 3 years. Then he asked the same question to the doctor, sir, how many years would you take to buy a BMW? He said, 2 years. Then the 4th person was Ratanji Tata. He asked the same question to Ratan Tata, sir, how many years would you take to buy a BMW? He said, 5 years. He said, the journalist said, sir, 5 years, why? Because he said, because it is a very big company. So when average person, a layman, thinks about only one BMW car, the person with a great vision, the different perspective person like Ratanji Tata has a different vision of buying not only a car but a company. So that is the change that we need to imbibe today, inculcate that particular perspective of looking differently, because you are not an ordinary student. You are not ordinary teachers, but you are learned people. You have some degrees, you have some knowledge. With that knowledge, your perspective, your vision, you should be able to see what others are not seeing. Because you are learned, you have knowledge, you have degrees. That is very, very important. Okay, so I just want to tell all the students over here, don't just keep on collecting the stamps. Design your own stamp. Try to design your own stamp. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. You have given a new perspective, new mantra rather today. Like we are polluting, we must do something about it. No, I am polluting, I must do something about it. Sir, and there are 2 contradictory words, sustainability and development. So it's we researchers, we have to bring those 2 words together. Sir, be a technical talk or a general talk, listening to you is always a great experience, and thank you so much for that. We are coming to an end of this function, requesting Dr. Anil Salunke to propose vote of thanks. Sir, please.
Good afternoon, everybody. I must mention our deep sense of appreciation for Honorable Padma Shri Professor Dr. G.D. Yadav sir for sharing with us as a chief guest and keynote speaker. Green technology and hydrogen economy will really come in true sense under the great support and guidance of our eminent chief guest, Dr. G.D. Yadav sir. Sir, gives us very nice speech about green technology and other things. I would like to thank Honorable Professor Dr. P.S. Patil sir for sharing his opinion about research and organizing of this international conference. He is always encourages and supports the researchers. Thank you again, sir, for your informative and rich speech. I would like to thank Honorable Professor Dr. R.K. Kamath sir from Homi Baba State University, Mumbai, and Dr. Vasanti Yadav ma'am to make this function very colorful. I am very much thankful to Dr. Sushma Kulkarni madam, Director RIT Rajaramnagar, for providing facilities for conducting international conference. I express my sincere sense of gratitude to our support system and our great mentor, Honorable Principal R.D. Samant sir, for his motivation and encouragement to our faculty. I would like to thank our Principal Dr. V.G. Kale sir, who acted as the backbone for making this conference as a great success. I would like to thank all participants, faculty members, delegates from different places. I also like to thank Dr. S.R. Mane sir, convener of this conference, and Dr. Joint Convener Dr. Deepak Patil, IQAC Coordinator, for their valuable and timely support. I also extend my sincere thankfulness to all faculty members, research scholars, and participants, well-wishers who have come from different colleges and institutes for their support and cooperation. Thank you once again. I would like to thank reporters and various newspapers for their presence. So again, I would like to thank all of you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you one and all, and this function is over and we will be beginning with the plenary session soon. Thank you all.
technology. I will introduce it very small, not in briefly. Detailed introduction which will be given by Dr. D.R. Patil sir. The chairperson of this session is Dr. K.S. Oza, HOD of Computer Science Department from Shivaji University, Kolhapur. Coordinator for this session is Dr. D.R. Patil sir from Srimati Kusumtai Rairam Bapu Patil Kanya Mahavidyalaya, Islampur. And the rapporteur is L.P. Gawande sir. So, please come on stage and join us. I want to request Dr. D.R. Patil sir. D.R. Patil sir, please. So, coordinator will take charge of this session. Session first.
The major objective of the conference is environmental concerns and sustainability. I welcome sir. I welcome Dr. Kamath sir, and I kindly invite sir on the stage and Dr. Oza madam on the stage. For this first plenary session, the first speaker is Honorable Professor Dr. R.K. Kamath, Vice Chancellor Dr. Homi Bhabha State University, Mumbai. His topic for presentation is Human-Centric Approach to Science and Technology. The topic title is very provoking and definitely sir will deliver very inspirational speech. I request Dr. Oza Madam, Computer Science Department, HOD, Vishwaraj University, Kolhapur to chair this session.
I will request KRP sir for introduction of Dr. Kamath sir.
All the participants and delegates, welcome to first plenary session of Dr. R.K. Kamath sir, Vice Chancellor of Dr. Homi Bhabha State University, Mumbai. As I am very much honored to introduce our first speaker, Dr. R.K. Kamath sir. Dr. R.K. Kamath is currently working as a Vice Chancellor, Dr. Homi Bhabha State University, Mumbai, and he is the first Vice Chancellor of this university. He is the first university of its kind of state of Maharashtra, established as per the guidelines of Rashtriya Uchchatar Shiksha Abhiyan, RUSA, to offer the dynamic and demand-driven academic programs. He has his credit 200 and around plus publications in journals from reputed publishing houses such as IEEE, Elsewhere, Springer. In addition to 16 reference books he has published with the reputed international publishers such as Springer, United Kingdom, and River Publishers, Netherlands, and exclamatory articles on ICT for encyclopedia published by IGI. The book exhibits the impressive download history and placed in more than 400 libraries all over the world. Furthermore, inspired many young minds to pursue their research careers in technological domains. He has successfully guided 19 PhD students. He has mobilized research grants to tune of around 10 crores from different funding agencies such as UGC, DST, MHRD, and RUSA. He is the Young Scientist Awardee from Department of Science and Technology, Government of India under the Fast Track. So big claps to Dr. Rajnish Kamath sir. He has been working in different committees of University Grant Commission such as Learning Outcome, Curriculum Framework, Autonomy of Higher Education Institutes, College with Potential for Excellence, and also Expert Evaluator of NAC Bangalore. His latest initiatives are setting up to Faculty Development Center under the Ministry of Human Resource Development's PMMNMTT. This is Pandit Madan Mohan Malmiya Training and Learning Centers scheme in cyber security and data sciences. RUSA Industry sponsors Center of Excellence in VLSI system design and coordination of 2 international projects, IQUAMBI, that is Enhancing Quality Assurance Management and Benchmarking Strategies in Indian Universities, and internationalized master degree education in nanoelectronics under the European Union of Unanimous scheme. Dr. Kamath is currently working as an adjunct professor in computer science for reputed Victorian Institute of Technology, Melbourne, Australia. He is the fellow of the Institution of Electronics and Telecommunication Engineer. We warmly welcome Dr. R.K. Kamath sir for the presentation. I again introduce our today's chairperson of this plenary session, Dr. K.S. Oza, Dr. Kavita Oza, she is the Associate Professor and Head, Department of Computer Science, Shivaji University, Kolhapur. And she has done MCA PhD from this university. She has also attended so many different workshops and conferences. Her area of research is machine learning, ICT, algorithms and text mining. She has completed 3 research projects on the data structure, development, faculty development centers in cybersecurity, the student grievance addressal system, the artificial intelligence and circular economy in the context of food consumption patterns in the restaurants. She has around PhD, she has given guidance to 5 students of PhD and 2 students are working as for the PhD guidance. She has guided even international students also. Mr. Hesleg Manju Manisha Kalra from the Department of Computing and Information System from the Sri Lanka. Also, she has done summer internship guidance also. She is working as a committee member of ISO 9000-2015 internal auditor. She is a departmental NAC coordinator. She is a program coordinator of MSc Computer Science. She is a member of RAC and DRC. She is a BOS committee member. She newly elected as a BOS member of Computer Science in Shivaji University, Kolhapur. So I warmly welcome our chairperson also, Dr. K.S. Oza, and I will stop here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I would like to request Dr. A. Patil, sir, to felicitate Dr. Kamath, sir, and Dr. Oza, ma'am. So again, I request Dr. D.R. Patil, sir, for felicitation of Dr. Oza, ma'am. Please. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Okay, sir. The rapporteur of this session is L.P. Gawande, sir. So, okay, Dr. Kamath, sir, I would like to request you to start your speech.
स्लाइडर काय ऑपरेट करायला स्लाइडर आहे Good afternoon. At the outset, I would like to thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity. Actually, I'm standing in between you and lunch,
So I was told that I should take only 30 minutes, 30 to 35 minutes. So don't worry. So I would not like to bore you, mostly the young minds, right? So this is the conference on the basically trends in pure and applied sciences, right? And I would like to cover the pure part is also important and the applied part is also important. And the bridge between the pure and applied is nothing but the technology, which is also really important. So when we are talking about the pure and applied sciences, so what is important is the human being, the society is very important. So we should always think about the society, because in the morning also Honorable Professor G.D. Yadav, he mentioned about the need of how society driven research is very important. Yes. Yeah, so that part is important. And in his presentation, there was a mention of 2050, which is really important. So what will happen in 2050? All of us, as a human being, we are always curious about what will happen to future, right? So because we are not actually take lot of happiness or pleasure in the current things, but we are always get involved in what is happening in future, and therefore we go to astrologer, right? But as a scientist, we should know what is our future, and then how to carve a roadmap so that we can pursue a research as far as the sustainable development is concerned. Because as all of you know that today everybody is talking about sustainable development goals. They are talking about plastic, they are talking about carbon neutrality. In the morning there was a lot of talk on hydrogen, all these things, water, energy, everything is important. So let's see, in a very light style, I wanted to cover this matter because we should take pleasure in whatever we are doing. That's what I believe. For some of you might be repetition. I don't know who is sitting in the audience, but this is very interesting. So that's why I have taken these slides. They are not my slides. Very honest, ethics is very important in research. We all should follow ethical principles. They are taken from here and there, right? Just to spread a word of wisdom to all of you. First of all, as I said, we are all technology-driven society. I know that when I'm speaking to you, many of you must have been watching the WhatsApp, right? Many of you might be checking in Google what is my profile. So therefore, what is important is what happens in 60 seconds, 1 minute, whenever I'm talking to you. So in 60 seconds, lot of things are happening. All of you might be aware about Netflix. So Netflix, 87,000 hours of Netflix. Then many emails are sent, more than the population of the globe. Those many emails are sent only in 1 minute. From the students, anybody know ChatGPT? Anybody has worked on ChatGPT? The ChatGPT is the latest platform on which you might be aware about OpenAI. So under OpenAI, suppose today morning when I started for this conference, I was little worried on what I should talk. So I just asked a question to ChatGPT. This is the theme of the conference, what I should talk on this. And ChatGPT gave me the answers that your presentation should be highlighting these aspects. Okay, accordingly I just aligned my presentation. So it is a great thing, and you might be aware that Facebook or email or whatever, they just took so many years to penetrate. But ChatGPT was released just in November, and it has almost penetrated half the planet, right? So that's the kind of effectiveness ChatGPT has. So what I wanted to tell you is the technology is very, very important, and a lot of things are happening at a very rapid pace. And therefore, all the strategic firms like Niti Aayog and many other firms, they are always guiding us what research we should pursue, on what topic we should pursue the research. Because morning also Professor Yadav said 9 professors should undertake projects, but on what topic? They should be societal topic. So that is very important. They should help the society, they should help the nation. So all these things are important. So therefore, let's focus on on the topic we are now focusing. So we are focusing on future, right? What is future? Everybody is talking about what will happen in the future. So the future, which is very important. Can you please switch off these lights, because the presentation will be very effective if these lights can be switched off. So we want to talk about future. Almost everything. Because the needs are important. Whatever science, technology or research we are pursuing, the human needs are important, and our needs, they don't change. Okay, so you might be aware that needs don't change. What are the needs? There was a philosopher called as Maslow. Those who are from philosophy or social sciences, they might be aware. There is a hierarchy of needs, and Maslow has given us hierarchy of needs. Those needs are like physiological needs, safety, love and belonging. So many young minds, that is very important. Esteem is very important. Whenever we go to office, our boss should respect us. So esteem is important. Self-actualization is important. What I can do for society, how much I can progress. So all these things are important. So these things are really important, and these are the human needs. These are the physiological needs like food, water, sleep, etc. Safety needs like health, security, stability. Love and belongingness, we must have a family. So that is love, belongingness, these are important things. Esteem is important, how we can succeed, we can get success, how we can be respected, all these things are important. Self-actualization, how we can achieve our full potential. So that is important. So these were the basic needs. Now with the progress of science and technology, a new need has came into the existence. What is that new need? Here you can see the new need. Okay, so the new need is nomophobia. Okay, what is nomophobia? Nomophobia stands for, it's very important, no mobile phobia. So what is no mobile phobia? You will experience this if your battery is about to die. You are traveling and your battery is just 1%, right? You are traveling and you are not having a range. You are worried who has sent the message. Your parents, they have deprived of your mobile phone. They have snatched your mobile phone. They said you don't use mobile phone. Screen time is really dangerous, right? Don't see the mobile when you are going to bed. Okay, then you may not get the sleep. That is, there you feel nomophobia. The audience which is sitting on the back side, they come from, you can see that there are generations. Silent generation, those who were born between 1928 to 1945. Boomers, Generation X, Generation Y. Just check yourself. So most of you are from Generation Z. And Generation Z is a generation who are having the mobile phone when they got born, right? Used to say that you have gold spoon or silver spoon. So these people, they born with mobile phone, right? So therefore, it so happens that if you put a message on your Facebook, or if you put your snap on the Instagram and you're not getting the likes, right? Then you get worried. Why I'm not getting likes? So this generation is also called as like me generation. Like me means more likes, they are happy, right? This generation, they start their day looking at the others' day. Okay, if others' day, on the others' day, they decide whether they are happy or not. Okay, so this is a new need which has come into the forefront, that is called as nomophobia. So which is also a sort of the product of the progress of pure and applied sciences. But let's say needs don't change. Okay, materials, they improve. Earlier we had a very big phones, now we have very light phones. So most of the young minds, so whenever they have to change the phone, so they think about the sleeker phone. Morning there was a mention 1 GB memory, 1 GB RAM, which is important. So what is the memory? That is very important. So nowadays even the progress is so much, because we are talking about health. Okay. Even if you click your photograph, then we can make out whether you are well or you are ill, right? So that kind of progress, that is called as thermoimaging. So this kind of progress is possible with the science and technology. Technology is advancing, though the needs don't change. Context change. As I said, today we think about others more to decide whether we are happy or we are sad or what is happening in our life. If somebody is enjoying vacation in US and if we are in the sea coast at Konkan, then we think that we are not happy, right? So context change. This context has changed only because of progress in science and technology. And it has also altered the fortune, because many people, they are now earning, because you must have heard that even you put a good video on YouTube, right? And if there are more likes, then you earn through YouTube. So the fortunes have altered. Desires have shifted, right? Because no technology. So the world, you might have heard about one Thomas Friedman. He has said that world is flat. World is flat means world has come very close. So therefore, WhatsApp and all other gadgets, they have made to shift the desires. Our desires are now getting elevated. Increase in expectations. Okay, so we are not happy with what we have right now. We want more and more and more. So expectations have increased. This is also because of progress in science and technology. But needs don't change. Let us see few examples of this, because we are talking about human-centric research. So in the human-centric research, the food is the most important need. The future of food. This is a very famous quote of Benjamin Franklin. He said, you just read it very carefully. I saw few die of hunger, full stop, of eating, 100,000. So when you, of course, English professor will definitely appreciate this. What it means is, I saw few die of hunger. I saw very few people who died because they were hungry, right? Of eating 100,000, but I saw many people who died because of eating more. Okay, so the meaning is, I saw very few people who died because of they were hungry, but I saw many more because they died because of overeating. Okay. Fast, cheap and brown food is coming. We have already put so many, because we are talking about the pesticides and so many things. So it's almost, our life is getting threatened because of all this. There is a supply chain terrorism is coming. So whatever you want right now, the crop cycle can also be changed with the supply chain terrorism, because whatever you want in this part of the world, it can come from China or Taiwan by changing the life cycle. 2050, what will happen? So 2050, think about it. The 2050, we have to feed 35% more population than we have right now. 35%. How much it amounts to? It amounts to 9 billion people. 2050, 9 billion people we have to feed. So that is called as overcrowded planet. You can see this in Syria and other countries. There is a chronic shortage of food. They are crossing the boundaries, and many kids, they are losing their lives only because they don't have food, right? They have to immigrate to other countries. So that is happening in Syria and other countries. On the other hand, if you go to countries like US, UK, they are very time poor. In big countries, cities like Mumbai, Pune, people don't have time to eat. They have everything. They have money to buy the food, but they don't have time. So they are time poor. Again, this has become with the progress of science and technology. On one part of the planet, you will find that there are too poor. They don't have food, they don't have drinking water. On other part, you will see that people want the appointment with dietitian. Okay, so they are facing the problems of obesity, right? So that is pathological consumption, right? So more than science and technology, what we want here, body stress is more because of overeating. So there is a hope. So what is a hope? More than science. That's where the human-centric science and technology comes into the picture. So we have to think about human being whenever we think about the progress in science and technology. So what is the hope? Food education. So what is food education? Think about our grandmother, our grandfather. What they used to tell us? ही ताटात काहीही ठेवायचं नाही. Okay. You don't leave anything in your plate, right? So that was the example of food education. They used to tell us that you should take only what you can eat, right? So this is very important. Food education is very important. So when we talk about the human-centric science and technology, what message we should give to our friends, to our followers, that food is very important. Early participation is important. We should tell our kids that this is very important. So therefore, our kids should be participated in all these movement. So which is more important than the research in science and technology. Instead of increasing the yield and again putting more pesticides and fertilizers, what's important is food education is very, very important. Communal eating is important, because if you go to the Sikhs, they have langar. So their community eating is very important. Okay, so India is the country, ours is the country which has started this, which has started spreading this message. So this is really important, really more important than the progress in science and technology. So therefore, human-centric development is important, and this is one example of human-centric development. Sustainable farming is important. What is this picture? This picture is nothing but it is the lawn which is outside the Google's office in USA. So they don't have machines to cut the lawn. Okay. Instead, they have this natural mechanism to trim the lawn. Okay. So this is very important. So don't go for machines. These things are very important. 3D printing. If you go to cities like Mumbai, Pune, during Ganesh festival, we have modak, right? So gone are the days when the modaks were made in homes. Now they have 3D printing machines. So they have exactly same size, same shape, same weight, you get the things. So what has happened is the customers feel and look is very important, and therefore this technology is coming in big way. Let's take the other example, the future of sleep. Dalai Lama, the great philosopher, has said, sleep is the best meditation. You don't have to do any other meditation. If you get good sleep, meditation there. But problem is sleep stress. Okay, we can't sleep these days very quietly. So always whenever we sleep, we think about the other day, next day, and there is a lot of sleep stress. Erasing thoughts. So lot of thoughts are coming into the mind. It is not possible to focus on the sleep. So that's a problem. Insomnia, anxiety. So there are special doctors. So they give you treatment how to avoid the insomnia, because in the night time you got up and then you don't know what to do at 2 o'clock in the morning, right? Then you spend some time on WhatsApp, on whatever you can do. But this problem is now arising. Bad dreams. So whenever we sleep, we think the dreams are not good dreams, bad dreams. Staying awake. Some part of population like taxi drivers, some part of population like the call centers, they have compulsion that they have to stay awake. Okay, because of the time scale, because whenever there is a day in US, there is a night in India. So there is a compulsion to stay awake. But there is a hope with the progress in science and technology. What's the hope? You might have seen some apps these days, mobile apps. So these apps, they give you some kind of guidance how to have lucid dreaming. Whatever dreams you want, how to get those dreams. Okay, so there is a hope for that. Or 40 Hertz electroshock, which is a very low scale shock, or some psychological counseling is also possible. Brain hacks is a new technology. Put the electrodes on your brain and then let me find out what you think when you sleep. Okay, so your thinking patterns can be hacked, and then there are expert counselors, they help you to change your thinking patterns. This kind of special arrangements, okay, beds, the sleeping beds, now they come in different sizes, different shapes. Okay, this is some shape. Just imagine whenever you get up in the morning and your position when you get up in the morning and whenever you sleep at night, it is completely different, right? So there are different kinds of comforts pursued by human being. So therefore different kinds of beds are now being designed. Let us see the third important thing, because we are short of time. Water is our need. And Leonardo da Vinci, you might be aware of him because of his picture of Mona Lisa. But more than that, he was a good scientist, he was a good philosopher, he designed helicopter and so many things. So he said that water is the driving force of all the nature. Water is very, very important. What is happening? Global contamination. This is, you can see everywhere, because morning Professor P.S. Patil, he was telling us that earlier we used to drink the water just by tap. Just go to tap and get the water. But now it is no more truth. We have to have the AquaGuard, we have to have different technologies to pure the water, to clean the water. 2050, 35% more population. 2050, 9 billion people, thirsty people. Water scarcity, 40% shortage of water. Okay, this is the seriousness that we should think about. On one hand, we have wealthier population. Okay, the population like ours, whenever you wear this suit and the wealthier kind of things, you require more water to wash these things. Okay, so wealthier population. On the other hand, people who are eating more meat, they also require more water because they are more thirsty. One hand, there is a land stress, very few land has now left. This land stress requires more water because we want to cultivate more crop. So there is a hope. What is the hope? Desalination is one technology which can convert the sea water into drinking water. So there are more plants now for this, right? Of course, there are some issues of minerals, but now they are sorting out these issues. Solar pots. So whatever dew is there in the morning, you can convert that dew into drinking water. Fog harvesting. The fog can be converted into water, drinking water. So see that progress of science and technology, all these things have become a reality. Portable purification, right? So we don't know from where the contamination enters into the water, from which tap. Just put this chip in the water, you will come to know from where the contamination started. This is called as water chip. Let's see the future of health, which is again very important because we are aiming at healthier society. So for healthier society, nowadays you have this kind of textiles wherein all the sensors are there. So they will sense whenever there is a abnormal conditions, right? And instead of you going to doctor will appear to you saying that you are not well. So the problem is there is an increased lifespan. So just in the morning they said that 150 years you can live, but decreased well-being, because you can see the generation, evolution. So there is a decreased well-being. There are more lifestyle stresses, more medications people are taking. So there is hope. So what is the hope? You must have seen this device in the market. If not, you can just Google. It is bit costlier. It is called as happy fork. Okay, kata. आपण जो चमचा आणि काटा असतो. So what is this all about? This is a device which can be connected to Bluetooth. And what is the reason of obesity? Because you tend to eat more, because there is some time required to travel to the brain so that you get the feeling of stomach full, that you are no more hungry, but you are eating fast, so therefore there is no time. But this particular fork will give you always a message, eat slow so that you can lose the weight. Okay, so this kind of things are now coming into the market. Must have seen this new generation of toothbrush. It is Procter & Gamble toothbrush. So which has a special provisions, whether you are brushing properly, whether your brush is going into the every nook and corner of the mouth. Not only that, whenever the decay starts, all these brush, they have a network. So this network, the control is given to the dentist. So whenever the decay starts, the dentist will come to your place saying that now there is a need of treatment. So this is the progress which is happening. Okay. Many things like Fiction Arcade machine. Just now I talked about Chat GPT. So Chat GPT can write poems, ChatGPT can write essays, ChatGPT can answer your questions. So therefore, in most of the schools, colleges now, they are thinking to ban this ChatGPT. So this is a fiction arcade machine which can write stories. Smart pet game is there, and many more things. Like this is one more thing which is called as nod. So that by using only neck motion, you can switch. You can just close the door. You can open the door, and so many things possible. Okay. So with that, there are some ill effects like self-diagnosis. Because today, if somebody gets some symptoms, the best thing is they go to Google and they put their symptoms. So that kind of things are also coming, which is not in the benefit of the society. Because there is a famous quote by Mark Twain. Mark Twain has said, "Be careful about reading health books. You may die of misprint. If there is a misprint, then you will die of misprint." Similarly, Google is not the solution for everything. Okay, so what I mean to say, that sometimes you should consult your teachers also. 3D printing medication is coming into the picture. 3D printing ability, because morning there was you can change everything. You can change your kidney, liver, but more than that, you can change your organs. You can have biocompatible materials now, and these biocompatible materials can be attached to your organs, so that you have more strength, you have more power, you can visualize more. Self-preparing kind of things, they are also coming into the forefront. So behind all this, we come from computer science background, both myself, Oza madam, Dr. Patil, and so many people. Today, I think there was an article by Bill Gates just few days back. There is something called as Bill Gates diary. Just Google this, and whatever Bill Gates writes in his diary, it can directly come to your mailbox. Bill Gates diary. So Bill Gates has written, with this Gudi Padwa, what has started? The age of artificial intelligence has started. So this is a new age of artificial intelligence. This is a new age where the data is very important. Data is the fuel of new economy, right? So data access is very important. So with data access, we can, that most of these young people, I need not tell you, what you do is most of the time you put your location disabled, right? I think you are doing that. Why you are doing that? So that you need not be detected by Google. Okay. Otherwise, your every move, wherever you go, whatever you do, everything is being detected by Google. Okay. So data access is very important. Electrodiagnosis is possible with data access. Big data is coming in big way. Robo surgery is coming. So these things are very important. So I think I'm just 10 minutes more. Security is also important. What is security? Now security doesn't mean that you need some security from your neighbor or some security from thieves or dacoits. What's important is the security fear for self. You feel isolated in these worlds of gadget. So that is again a very important thing. Fear for identity. You don't know what is the real face behind the Facebook. Somebody chatting to you on Facebook, and you don't know what is the face behind this face who is chatting with you. So face behind the Facebook is very important. So fear of identity. Fear for security. So many things like we should discuss more, we should have conferences like this, because words kill wars. Okay. Democracy is important. Coming to the last part, future of family. You might be aware that parenting pains in Japan now, the kids, they are shown what their parents are doing for the family, right? So that kind of culture is now coming. Feeling isolated, money strains. So that is the story which is in Japan or China. So the kids are made aware what their parents are doing for them. Cost of care, because lot of old age homes are increasing. So cost of care is going up. Time poor is the reason. Lot of work is coming, work pressure. Mortgage stress. You might have read in the newspaper that one of the most popular bank in Silicon Valley has now no more. Okay. So lot of Adani and other things, Heidelberg, all those things are happening. So lot of mortgage stress, economy because of globalization, divorces are rising, crowded planet. Okay, so there is a hope. Okay, let us skip this. Modern family is also coming. Okay, robot nanny, because of chatbots and other things. Now the families have become singular, or the joint families are no more. So this kind of culture is coming. Virtual families are coming. So many family members, they are in different parts of the planet, and they are just meeting through virtual conferencing. So a lot of sea change has happened. Okay. So this is the work side, changing organizations, increased automation. We are talking about chat GPT, income inequality. So lot of things, startups are increasing, because in the morning we are talking about startups. Service sector is going, 7 billion corporations are coming up. Creative class. So the future is only the recession-proof careers for the students. What is important is we should have recession-proof career. So what is recession-proof career? It is not physics, or it is not chemistry, or it is not biology, zoology, not like that. It's some kind of philosophy called as learn to learn, L to L, learn to learn. What is learn to learn? Whenever you will be out of your college and when you enter the profession, whatever you learnt in this college has become obsolete, has become not useful. In that case, you should be able to learn more on your own. So that kind of things are now coming into the picture. So you should be part of this creative class. Always you should be in demand, in charge of everything, instead of becoming slaves. Okay. So future of self, which is very important for us. Who am I? That we should know. Where am I? Why am I? So whenever you get, there is a famous quote, when we get answers to this. So why this is important? Because what are our career aspirations? What I want to become, and how I will get my career path. So these things are important. Merely using technology is not the answer. Like me is not the answer. So there is a hope. In our forefathers, they have said, Yat bhavo tata bhavati. So that means know thyself. We should know ourselves. So whenever we are pursuing the careers in science, basic science or applied science, first we should know ourselves, and then we should take a decision whether this particular career is suited to us or not. Okay. So the last part is, what's important is what Indian philosophy has preached. So that part is being conscious is very important. So therefore you will find that in new education policy also, lot of stress on yoga, meditation, because all these things are very important. Well-being is important. Well-being doesn't mean well-being physically. Well-being also means well-being mentally. Okay, so what is important is healthcare. Whenever we talk about healthcare, physical well-being, mental well-being, and soul. So all these three things are important. So seeking self, seeking tribe, which is more important. Instead of seeking self, we should know our friends, we should contribute to the society, we should contribute to the institute for which we are working. So seeking tribe is important. Seeking purpose is also important. Instead of being anyone, continual learning is important. So that's what I told you. Learn to learn is very important. Self-awareness is very important. So instead of a cat, which is whenever she thinks about herself, she thinks as if she is lion. So what we are and what are our limits and boundaries. So we should know. Self-esteem is really important. So that's what the message I wanted to give you, because a lot of things are coming in with the progress in science and technology. A lot of research is being happening. There is something called as death of valley. Okay. So there is a gap between science and pure science and applied science. So there is a gap. So if this gap is not bridged, if proper technology is not done, so if the technology is not in favor of the society, it is not in the favor of mankind, it is not helping the society, it is not towards the sustainable development, as morning also there was a mention, then it is going to be a disaster. It is going to be a complete disaster for our future generations. So therefore, a sustainable way of development is very important. So therefore, as a young people, all of us, we want to change the world. And there is nothing wrong that we should change the world. So while doing so, our ways and means for changing the world, those are really important. Those should be ethical. So therefore, the message which I want to give to all of you is that follow the ethical means for pursuing the research. Follow ethics doesn't mean only copy paste kind of culture. Ethics also means whether we are helping the future generations, whether we are helping the society, whether we are helping to serve the human needs. Okay, so that kind of nature is very important. So I'm sure that this conference will definitely focus, because there are many slides. Your role, as I said, it is wrong to want to change the world. It is your duty to change the world. If you can change the world, there is no issue. How will you change the world? So many things are coming in forefront. So just think about this, because 2 days conference and there will be a lot of things happening after 2 days conference. Just keep this in backdrop. I am leaving these slides with you. As I said, these are not my slides. I have taken it from somewhere. So just think about this. And I think if you think about this more, then the purpose of this conference will be served. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
Hello. Any doubts or any questions? So very nicely explained, sir.
And he wants to say something.
Sir, it was a very wonderful session for you. Sir, very much thankful to you, as your presence is really gracious for us. So I would like to ask one simple question that you just on ChatGPT. What is ChatGPT? And to the all audience, please.
Sure. Just escape there. Close this presentation. Go to Google. Just very interesting. Just 2 minutes. Google.com. Yes. Type OpenAI. Enter. Go to OpenAI. Good. Okay. Go down. No, top. Just go up. Go up. Little. There. No. Learn about GPT-4. No, it is not ChatGPT actually. Go to ChatGPT direct. Use ChatGPT. ChatGPT. Okay. Go down. Try ChatGPT. Okay. Just wait for some time. Okay. Sign up. Just give sign up. Just 1 minute it will take. Sign up. Give your email address. Continue. Give some password. Of course, don't share it with anyone. At least 8 characters. 8 characters. Continue. Go to your email, Gmail. Just click that. Verify you are human. Please click there. Just wait. No, his email. No. His email. He should go to his email just to check that. Just open the email. No, it's very simple. Open Gmail. No, you don't have to do anything. I'll tell you. Open Gmail. Yeah. Go to that side where A is written. Yeah. Enter your, right. So go down, use another account, that give your account. It's very straightforward. Verified, okay. No, but unless he opens, because there will be link, okay. Now you put there. Last name. I'm little bit impatient whenever I use technology. Continue. No, that it will, if you go to your email, it will be very simple. Okay, give. Yes. Okay. Enter the code on your WhatsApp. Good. Done. Now from the audience, I want one question. Next. Done. I want one question from an audience.
Anybody can ask
Any question? Okay. You can ask a question. Any question?
During Corona, a lot of mutant strains are evolved.
Yeah.
So Omicron strain is there.
So you want to know about Omicron?
Yeah, Omicron. So why there is a mutation in the coronavirus?
Yes. Type the question there. No. Type a question, straightforward question. Why?
There are much mutations
There are so many mutations.
in COVID-19 virus.
In COVID-19
Virus.
virus. No, COVID-19 virus. You put, or COVID-19 also is okay. Virus. Enter. Just go top. Go to the top. That chat. No. There. Window. Chat openai.com. No. URL. URL. Enter there. Again, enter that question. Why mutations in COVID-19? In COVID-19. Question mark. Virus. See, answer. You are getting the answer.
All are getting the answers. See on the screen.
So it is giving the answers why there are mutations.
Hello.
Okay.
So answer is very nice one. It is quite natural phenomenon. Because of that,
Now simple. The second question. Now let it complete. Yeah.
This has been completed.
Write an email to principal regarding my absence. For my absence in the classroom. For leave, yeah, leave. Enter. Yeah. Dear principal, I am writing to request a leave of absence. So it is ready. Okay. Now see how it is careful. Enter a question there. What will be the when there will be India-Pakistan war? When there will be India-Pakistan war? Yes. Enter. See, it is very careful. As an AI language model, I cannot predict the future. Okay. So a very short answer. ChatGPT doesn't want to take any responsibility. It doesn't want to come into any legal problems. Okay. So intelligent it is. Okay. So you can explore more. Henceforth, if you want to write to mail to your say teachers or somewhere, so don't scratch your head. It is there. Everything is ready. Okay. And it is improving. The problem is we should use it more because it is learning. Okay. And I feel it should not only learn from Britishers or Americans, it should learn from Indians also. And it should learn from the rural Indians also, from people like us. So therefore, if we use it more will be beneficial in the future. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Vote of thanks will be given by Lakshmikant Gawande, sir.
If you ask ChatGPT what will be the menu of the lunch, it may not answer that.
Thank you, sir. In today's session, I am very thankful to Dr. R.K. Kamath, Vice Chancellor, Dr. Homi Bhabha State University, Mumbai. Especially his contribution in Shivaji University, I know he has conducted near about 50 to 60 workshops, especially in cyber security. And these cyber security workshops are spread in different college for making it will be not only for the science teacher, it will be for art, commerce, humanity and all these. So after the Miss Vice Chancellor, he gives his valuable time to us. I am again thankful to Chairperson Dr. Kavita Oza, Head Department of Computer Science. He has given his very valuable time to us. Thank you.
I ask Chairperson Oza ma'am to give remark.
A very good afternoon to all. It's an honor to chair the session delivered by Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor Kamath sir, our former head of my department, Computer Science Department. Actually, we are associates since a long time. And whatever progress our department has made and what we are doing is all due to his efforts and his coordination and his guidance. And I'm happy that he's still there for us to guide whenever it's required. As usual, the excellent topic and very simple topic in a very good way, understandable to everyone. This is what we have been learning from him since a long time actually, how to deliver a session where everyone gets involved. I'm sure everyone liked it. It was very nice, no more scientific, not technical. It is something what everyone can understand. So that was the topic, human-centered. Actually he did that, he showed it practically, how human-centered approach can help in science and technology. Right? And I'm sure everyone enjoyed that ChatGPT also. But see to it that don't use it more, otherwise our logic of thinking and writing will stop. We will become too dependent, as now we cannot remember mobile numbers. Before we could, but now it is not necessary, everything is there on the cell phone. Right? So make use of it, but only to limited purpose only. Fine? Now, the best part what he said is future of everything, especially of digitalization, right? So new need for nomophobia. We all know the sense of connectivity is so important. Even as a parent, when we call our child and if it is not reachable, if it is not picking up the call, we get worried, right? So now the connectivity plays a very important role. Along with, of course, when we talk about science and technology, if it is not human-centered, there are some drawbacks. Right? But there are many good advantages also as the science and technology is progressing. The main thing is it helps in addressing the sustainable goals, basic human needs like health, food, data access. Remember, data access is also a basic need nowadays, and even the digital security. Sir already had a very big project on his name related to cyber security and data science from MHRD, Government of India, where he had in fact trained many teachers to be aware about the cyber security, which can be again given back to the students, like one teacher can train 60 students, right? And how technology helped us all. In case of COVID lockdown, we all have experienced it. Many of us became experts in many fields. As sir told, one topic of self-healing. Now we know how to search on the Google, we know how the YouTube tells us. So you don't need to ask anyone for the recipes also. You just sit on the YouTube and you get it. Advantage is what? Everything at your fingertip. Disadvantage is what? You lose the network. The thing what you would have asked your seniors, your grandparents or your relatives and all, that connectivity is slowly decreasing because of the advances in science and technology. Of course, everything has advantages as well as disadvantages. But I would like to conclude with the last thing what sir actually said is, this is now the era of learn to learn, right? So as youngsters, everyone's focus should be, the main focus should be need to learn what has to be learned. In fact, it's a self-learning era, right? So sir, thank you so much. It was an excellent, and we are really honored to hear you again, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
And
ma'am.
thank you to KRP Kanya Mahavidyalaya College for inviting me and giving me these opportunities to session the chair. Thank you,
ma'am.
once
Thank you,
again.
ma'am. So, after this, immediately there is a lunch break. And after lunch break, plenary session second will be started.